Warning. The following program is a recap of the HBCU sports world. It is meant to be comedic and informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their schools, or all black people. There may be some cuss words and some cultural words. If that bothers you, move along. If you're young, please seek permission before watching any further. If you at work, make sure you got your earbuds in. Don't blame us if you get fired. Thank you. The Outspoken Show.
And P.S. Don't be so damn sensitive.
You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on her, flaring on her. We Rick flaring on her, flaring on her. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on her, flaring on her. Jet, we Rick flaring on her, flaring on her. It's apparent these girls staring. I'm Rick flaring, gold across my chest. I'm fresh to death. I'm Paul Bearing, not at all scary. When I open like Betty Wops, they find to these circles that's going in like a carry shot. Woo! I'm going in like a Mary Pop off that Mary Crop at the top flow at the Marriott. So questioning me is like questioning you. See, we the best dressed, so come and get blessed with the crew. Not one but two, different ways to slaughter your crew. Committed tat across the chest, I guess she blessed with the truth. People want to see them checks, representation of proof. Living through my elders, trying to resonate to the youth. But ain't nothing to get my flash on. Longevity is heavily embedded in my melanin. Layman terms, I last long. My grind repetitive, I'm smoother than real silk. Lyrical cash cow, who can't cry over spilled milk. We in here. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on her, flaring on her. We Rick flaring on her, flaring on her. To the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on her, flaring on her. We Rick flaring on her, flaring on her. This ain't no normal situation, this preparation with greatness. Industry full of fakeness, it's really up for the taking. See, life is what happened to you, more so how you take it. Don't get stripped of your knowledge and mentally leave you naked. I like to live otherwise. I'm sorry that I'm fresh to death. I put the polo and apologize. See, black son, we ain't nothing like them other guys. Quit to socialize, we organize, then we mobilize. Off the deep end like a scuba diver. And no confusion, just keep it pushing like Uber drivers. Woo! Business fresh just like a supervisor in a Gucci visor. Can't find a smoother rhymer. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on her, flaring on her. We Rick flaring on her. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on her, flaring on her. We Rick flaring on her, flaring on her.
Yeah, DQ baby. Shout out that boy Nigga for that fire track. Hey, Black Sun, sun up. What's up, Vinny Vegas? What in Vegas? Yeah. Shout out Pharaoh's Kids, D-Face, yeah, Bubba C, yeah, Rick flaring on them, Rick flaring on them, Rick flaring on them, Rick flaring, son up, baby.
Hey, yo, Scotty, we back. Appreciate you for reaching out. I'm like, hey, it's outspoken. A lot changed. Granted, the concept we still hosting. Giving you the fix you need when on the screen. The veteran, Captain Petty, giving you medicine. Come tap in. You know Scott gon' do what he do. Might not want to hear it, but here go the hard truth. Perry about the numbers. Regret if you're not fact-based. When you run your lane, the numbers seem like a statue. Wait. Hey, Scotty, man, I'm not feeling it. I don't think the people feeling it. Let me get in my bag a little bit, just showing what this outspoken really about to be like. Outspoken, this is more than conjecture. These days they land people are so glad that we got our own. Hunger insatiable, made for you if you say you objective. Hard truth offering, no offense, just perspective. Come get your dosage and go with me. We spit it like poetry. The pivot was pivotal. Could rhyme here, but I'd rather not. Some say Scotty, some coast. the best one since Stewart. If you know, then you know, but if you don't, then you lost. Let me be frank for a minute, cause we all know that's how Perry be. Break it down the game for what it was, no apologies. It's my hypothesis, you tune in, you like watching it. It's common sense, obvious, competent, rugged, and confident. Hey, we outspoken. We outspoken. We outspoken. This is outspoken, and we gon' put on a show, even if we hear you say I can't stand. It's outspoken.
Hey, backpack. I think we got another one.
What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Scotty back with another one. You already know what it is. Welcome to the Monday nights. My bad. And you know I can't do it up, my brother from another. Please give it up for my boy, my co-host, Perry White.
That's coming to a stadium near you right there. Hey. Coming to a stadium near you.
That is too funny.
What's up with it, Scotty?
Man, chilling, bro. Chilling. I don't know what's been going on with my stuff. It's been acting up. I was trying to get it to change to the outspoken brand, but it won't change. So we gotta roll like how it is. Gotta roll with the punches. But other than that, man, everything been good. How you been, bro? We had a whole week off. I mean, I pretty much had a week off. You was ready. I had it.
You know, Brian don't stop on this side, man. But all right, yeah, we had a week off. I mean, here we are. We back.
Yeah.
People didn't have to hear all my cussing and fussing and stumbling and bumbling and yelling all for a week. So I guess they ready for it this week.
They better be. I mean, that's the only way we, I mean, that's why you're here. That's what they're here for. That's what they said. That's why they come to watch. Bamos was hitting me up. Scotty, did you do the show? I'm looking on your channel. I don't see it. I'm like, no, it's no. Oh man. Oh, you guys doing it later in the week? I'm like, no, this is just no show. Like, yeah, just no show.
Well, that's good when people.
That is good. I appreciate them for that. I really do. And you know what? Even more, they be like, man, Scotty, man, I love that Outspoken show, man. That's my show. Listen, let me say this, and I'm gonna say this because I'm leaving this space soon. So I'm saying this. If you care about something, all I'm gonna say is that it just doesn't make any sense to me that you like. I've had some very, very prominent business people talk about, man, Scotty, you the only show I watch. Then sponsor something. Sponsor the jump off segment. Sponsor the call line. Sponsor the top 5. HBCU top 5 sponsored by Jimmy's Crack Corn, and I don't care. I don't get sponsored something, goddamn it. Bet you a white man would.
You beat me to a cuss word tonight. Can you believe that? He beat me to a cuss word.
That's all I'm gonna say on that one. That's all I'm gonna say. People real finicky about, I care. Oh, we care so much. Okay. All right. If you say so. Like this black man did with Elite 15 coffee. Black owned, veteran owned business. Hey, and happy Veterans Day to all my veterans out there, man. Make sure you get your free meals and everything possible. Thank you, sweetheart. Appreciate you. My daughter came and brought me some water. Make sure y'all get y'all free meals. I wasn't able to get mine today. I had a lot of stuff on my plate, but make sure y'all Bama's go to Applebee's, Outback, get your free blooming onion, Denny's, IHOP, get your free pancake. Do what you got to do. Get your free food. You fought for your country. Get yourself some free food. All right. Perry, what'd you do this weekend, man?
Hung out, enjoyed football in Baton Rouge. It was a good place. You had Southern Bethune-Cookman. You had LSU, Alabama. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I love where I live at, man. You get those days where if you love football, you get the best of both worlds. So, with Southern playing at 2 and LSU at 6:30, that's the best of both worlds. Don't get no better than that for me.
Man, that's a smooth transition, man, from one side to the other side. You know what I'm saying? The other side was tough. Ooh. I bet
And
that
it,
sucker was
and
quiet.
it felt like elimination all across the city because LSU Bama was like an elimination game for the playoffs.
Yeah.
You look at Southern against Bethune-Cookman, you lose that, you put yourself in a tough spot with Alcorn. So it just felt like a must-win weekend. I mean, of course, that's every weekend in Baton Rouge with the programs that you have here, but you just really felt it in the air, man. It was must-win. You knew a lot was on the line this weekend. Didn't matter if you was in North Baton Rouge or South Baton Rouge, man. It was football was in the air.
Yo, okay. Man. How quickly were they leaving? Because I mean, by the third quarter, that backside end zone was just cleared out. That thing was all you saw was chairs. I was like, oh, them man was gone.
All stadiums ended up clearing out. LSU cleared out of there like they sent the mass text, like, hey, everybody goes to the stadium at this moment. And they got out of there quick.
Gots to beat the traffic. Gots to beat the traffic, man. Hey, let's get to a little hot viral. All right, listen. You know, we here support other HBCUs. Want to give a shout out to Tuskegee, man. Had a tough goal. Had a mass shooting on their campus for homecoming. That's not something you want to be a part of your homecomings. You come there, have a good time. Party with your friends, see old friends and stuff like that. I don't know how Perry would act if somebody starts shooting at Southern's homecoming, boy. You probably go out there like G.I. Joe or something, be like try to shut that whole thing down. Boy, you like, don't mess up my good time.
I just want to know why people come to the good time to mess it up.
Yeah, that's facts.
Man, I mean, there's plenty of places to go. I mean, the Wild Wild West made it so simple. You met up at a certain place and you dueled it out, and it was over. Why you want to duel it out in front of thousands of hundreds of people and knowing damn well you don't know how to shoot in the first place? Shooting with your eyes closed, I don't like that, man. I hate that this always seems to be associated with our communities, especially when it's supposed to be good times.
Yeah.
Tuskegee ain't the ghetto. That ain't the hood. That's an institution of higher learning with rich history. And for folks to come with that on their mind to do that during that time, and I don't care what HBCU, if this happens anywhere, I absolutely hate that mindset of bringing that drama. And a lot of times, it's ignorance of people who, probably have nothing to do with nothing, but decide to want to come there and be into it with everybody. Can't look at them. You can't accidentally bump into somebody. Can't step on the shoe because it's crap. It's just whatever, man. That's not what that environment for. So for me, man, I really hate the fact that, something. I saw the video. I saw one of the videos.
Oh, it was crazy. Dog, it was like, it felt like a war zone. How many gunshots was going off?
Why? And you sending people scattering, and a lot of times, man, I look at this stuff, man. I don't know if there's some type of conspiracy to have this type of stuff to happen for a bad news segment or the propaganda, or I really don't know, or just cats just that silly and foolish, which I know they are, to show up and want beef anywhere against anybody and want to do it amongst all the people, man, to where typically it's the innocent bystanders that get hurt, and typically not the person who they are initially going after. But I just really hate for these types of situations to happen, man, and it really bothers me when people come to a good time. This ain't no hood of it. It's homecoming, man, and it's a good time. It's for people to come back. It's students, it's young people, it's families.
Yeah,
and this stuff type like that, whatever that was, whatever that is, should not take place at Tuskegee. Shouldn't take place nowhere. Not even in our own communities and neighborhoods when it comes to gun violence. So
sad, man. That's what I said. Prayers for Tuskegee, man. And listen, man, what shocks me about Tuskegee every time I see them dudes is how many people dog. They be in that junk like roaches in the hood, in a kitchen. It be packed. Okay, I'm talking about packed. The shed be sitting sideways. I'm talking about it's ridiculous. And I'm like, how many people went to Tuskegee? That's how I be feeling like.
Well, you got to look at Tuskegee is not a slouch of a school, especially when it comes to football. Talking about a rich history of football and championships. I keep going back to those days where I always talk about that Sheridan broadcast poll.
Yeah.
Here to give you the top 5 HBCUs. Division 2s was mixed in with the D1AA at the time when they was doing it. So it was nothing to hear Grambling and Tuskegee right there in the mix all the time, along with a Southern and maybe somebody else. That's what you heard. Tuskegee name was always at the top. So, when people come back and support, you got a lot of people who had some hell of a great times, who spent time at Tuskegee watching them win a lot of games, championships. So the environment was always there. It's always been created. And, for, I guess, a lot of people who have not or don't remember the Tuskegee of those winning years, even Jackson State's former coach, Rick Comedy was coaching there during the time in which they was rolling and winning a lot of games. And so, when people come back, that's the whole notion of homecoming. People coming back to relive the good times and share the good times with the people, who you went to school with, and to see how you still doing it these days. So Tuskegee has that type of ump to it because it's no slouch. And when it comes to athletics, particularly football, it has traditionally been a winner, a championship caliber program. So people love that. And those people, trust me, those thousands of people that come back, they remember the good times that they had under the shed and was like, hey, it's just got to keep it going. And so I think that's the rich history that Tuskegee just brings with it, that a lot of programs may have homecoming, but when you don't have a football program that has always been conducive of winning in championships, that kind of takes away from the football side and more into the party side. Tuskegee like, hey, we hitting the game. I don't care where we sitting. If we on top of the press box, if I'm in there sitting on the fence, we in that thing, because I got to hear ball and parlay one time.
I gotta get to a Tuskegee homecoming. I really do. I just want to be in the shed. He go ball and parlay. I just want to be there one time. One time for the one time. You know what I'm saying? One time for the one time. They say I made it and I did it. You know what I'm saying? So it is.
They got lights now.
And they got lights.
I saw that. I saw the whole ribbon cutting, let there be lights. So shout out to Tuskegee.
Shout out to Alabama Power, because they the ones that sponsored the lights and put them up and everything like that.
Long ago. This crazy that we in 2024 and the school just now getting lights at their stadium. And let you know what a low resource institution look like.
And you're talking about like you said, a very prestigious winning program. It ain't Valley. You know what I'm saying? But
I mean, they just now getting a decent playing surface. They had to play, felt like on a cotton field, they just now, shoot. So
I swear, if you was white, they would cancel you.
Me? Oh man.
You can't say that. If you was only because you're black, you can get away with that. But if you was white, they'd be like, oh, Cottonfield?
Yeah, that's one of those black jokes, black folks. Yeah.
You can't.
Like, where I'm going. You picking up where I'm putting down.
Yeah, because if you was white, oh boy, Scotty, get him off. Hey, Scotty, go ahead and drop him off there. I'm like,
you heard Michelle Beal, she was doing a segment and she was talking about the Nuggets.
She said the N-word.
Hey, she was like, hold on now. Wait, slow down. Hey, she rolled that one off so quick. It just looked like that's what it was supposed to be, I guess.
Boy, Lou was like,
yeah, they gonna get you for this one. You gonna be all over the place with this one.
Yeah, ain't no. I'm like, you saying it too. See, you be saying it in your off time because that's what came to you first.
That's what came to you first. She been watching too much off script. Too much outspoken. Shout out to Tuskegee though, man. I'm sorry to hear about the unfortunate situation, but shout out to y'all, man.
Shout out, yeah, for real. Prayers for Tuskegee. Now, Perry, I wanted to talk about this last week, but we went on hiatus. Well, I went on hiatus. I don't want to put you into that, but we got like a duo.
I ain't got nothing to do with it. But my name Bennett, and I
ain't in it.
Yep.
Now, you being the UAPB semi-alum that you are, your mom, I know you had heard some things through the grapevine of what had transpired. If you would like to speak upon those, if you're even able to.
I ain't signed no non-disclosure or nothing. I can.
Go ahead.
I mean, I don't know. I'm still a little iffy with this one.
Mm-hmm.
I was told, and I had conversations with someone close to the program that said there was some truth to this. And initially, I'm not gonna lie, Scotty, when I saw you break in, I saw the backlash, and I saw how everything transpired, I initially thought maybe somebody sent this to him with the hopes for him to speak on this for it to maybe backfire to make it look bad on him. I promise you. Because that comes with some of the territory and sometimes with people sharing information with you.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to decipher good information from bad information, and it happens. So initially, I'm like, man, maybe somebody set him up with this information because for some reason this don't seem to be catching any traction. But I had a conversation, and it was told to me as of that Thursday leading up to the game that it was a report or an idea that something was going on. So I have not followed up with it. It doesn't seem like nobody cares at this point. And I get it. I was at the Jackson State UAPB game. It was 41-3. Jackson State handled business all the way when they shut down Mekhi Hagan and Javonte Gibson. So I don't know. I'm still waiting to hear from, I was hoping somebody was going to ask that today during the SWAC coaches call, and bring that up, but nobody brought it up. Everybody seems to kind of just let it go. So I guess I'll let it go, Scotty. You the only one holding this torch with this one because I don't understand. Because I would have expected UAPB, if they did feel some type of way and wanted traction behind it, that they would have made a statement. But no statement has come from the athletic director, from the athletic department, from the school itself. So I don't know how much they want to go into this, or if it was something that was said and they say, you know what, let's just leave it alone and move forward.
Listen, I feel like, how like when a president is in his like last days of presidency and he start like, giving out like leniency and clemency and all that type of stuff and just letting people be free and like, hey, you're free. You ain't got to be in jail no more. I'm doing the opposite. I'm burning this whole down. I'm a go down with the ship because I'm having the player come on tomorrow. Who's the one that they said got access? Who's the one that they stole their access? So I'm doing an interview with him tomorrow. Oh yeah, I'm burning this hole to the ground. Everybody taking all this action before I get up out of here. And word on the street is that the SWAC office contacted. This is what I've heard. The SWAC office contacted UAPB this week to talk about them starting the full investigation on the situation. Now, I don't know where it goes from there. I don't believe them. I believe what I believe is going to happen is they're going to wait till the season's over and then they're going to levy a punishment on Jackson State because I don't think they want to do it in season and then say, oh, it was a coup or whatever, all that type of stuff. But we're going to have the person on tomorrow whose access got stolen. So yeah,
access stolen, not given. That's what I'm asking. Because I think initially it was like, hey, it was in cahoots of a former player along with Jackson State, and maybe he had a bad odds with UAPB, so he was willing to give away valuable data and information to Jackson State to possibly help them in that game. That's how I took it initially when I heard it.
Mute your side real quick, P, because it's an echo. So let me say this. I'm trying to say it without giving everything away because then there would be no point of the interview. It had gone through multiple hands before it got to Tahoe State. And at the end of the day, I don't care how they got it. The fact of the matter is that they were in their stuff. It don't matter if it's used. It does not matter to me. It's you were in their stuff, point blank, period. Doesn't matter how you got it, whatever. If you use it, didn't affect the game, it did affect the game. I don't give a damn if it was Valley. I don't give a damn if it was Lincoln University, the one that is everybody's jump off on the homecoming. The fact of the matter is you cheated. You cheated. And it's a punishment for cheating. Period. Point blank. So, but I'm in talks with the player. We'll see if we can get him on here tomorrow. and have the conversation to see what had transpired and what everything in the background looks like. Now, me saying that, you already know how it gets around. It's going to get back to UAPB. It's going to get back to the player. Oh, Scotty, I can't come on anymore because, my administration said. So, possible. But just know I got the player's information. And if I can't do the interview, we're going to figure something out. He going to call into the show. We're going to do something, but we're going to get the information. Oh, but it happened, though. It happened. And as always, listen, I'm telling you, man. Listen, man. You can't trust them light-skinned niggas, okay? Like, I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you, that commissioner is keeping this hoe under wraps because at the end of the day, he don't want to do nothing to Pothole State. You can't tell me he don't. You can't tell me he do.
What would you say? I mean, are you asking for him to come out currently and say, hey, there has been alleged that Jackson State is this, so until, we're going to put this under investigation? Are you just wanting him to just acknowledge this, or do you want everybody to kind of hold up and look at both sides? Like,
well, you got to
something to come out now.
You got to acknowledge it. You got to acknowledge the allegation. You get what I'm saying? Like, you have to acknowledge that. Now, you don't have to say, but that's what you say. We got allegations that such and such transpired. The SWAC office takes all allegations seriously and will be doing a full investigation. That's it. And then based off the investigation, you come to the public and say yay or nay. That's it.
What about UAPB though? Would you think UAPB would be leading the way to possibly make a statement first, then everybody? Because if they're the ones that's alleging this, that's where you want to hear from first. Like the person who you saying is the victim. You want a statement from the victim so the victim can then say, this is why we have an outcry for it. And then the SWAC office, then that gives the SWAC office then the time to say, hey, UAPB made a public statement. That is a public relations move. Now we have to then come on our side and say, hey, UAPB as a conference with policies or whatever the case may be, that we will look into it. But UAPB, I think that's the thing about this whole situation. UAPB has remained quiet, and we're a week past it and has not said or put anything out that they felt like this was allegedly something serious enough that have cost them a win or just flat out a game.
Man, listen, I'm going to tell you straight up. At the end of the day, niggas be scared of the SWAC office, bro. I'm just keeping it a buck with you. Like it's you, and you can tell by just how they move around the SWAC office. Like that Bama act like he Nino Brown. Like, no, I don't know what it is about. I don't know what it is about the SWAC administration that people are either scared to hold them accountable, scared to say anything bad about them, or whatever. Because it's really a mom and pop shop. It's a mom and pop business that they treat like a mom and pop business. So it's like, oh, I'm letting you in, not letting you in. You cool, not cool. Because if you come out and flat out go against them, who's to say you might get another job or this job or whatever type of job, right? Because let's be okay. Let me keep it a buck with you. Has the SWAC come out? Did the SWAC ever say anything about the lawsuit that was going on between Jack State and the Southern Heritage Classic? No. Who got them in that lawsuit? The SWAC. Like that. See, that's what I'm saying. Like it's everything the SWAC does. They try to keep it under wraps. That's how they get down. That's how they operate. They just try to keep it under wraps. And at the end of the day, the way you're able to keep it under wraps is that you don't have enough news reporting on information, right? Because a lot of the podcasters, they're not insiders, right? Like G's an insider for Alcorn and some other schools, but it's not a lot of insiders like you would with the LSUs, the SECs or whatever, because it wouldn't just be one person reporting on it. It would be 10 people reporting on it. So you can't avoid it. You can't say it did not happen, right? So it's crazy, bro. I at the end of the day, I just want the truth to be exposed. I'm all for the truth.
What happens if it is not true, though?
Then it's not true. That's what an investigation. I mean, listen, that's what investigation is for. To me, it's like this is why I wanted the player to come on. Well, he wanted to come on, but I want him to come on. It's because he has gone through he has gone through things because of the incident. So it's like there's something there because the player who's getting accused for it has gotten backlash because of it. So there's something there. You get what I'm saying? There's something there. So again, since I'm the only investigative journalist in the space, I'm going to investigate. It just seems fair. Just seems fair to me. You know what I'm saying? So that's my only 2 cents, but we'll see. Like I said, if it's nothing there, then there's nothing there. If it's something, that's what it's called an allegation. That's, you know what I'm saying? Like, you are innocent until proven guilty, and I'm trying to prove him guilty. That's all we out here trying to do. That's it. If it happened, it happened. If it didn't, it didn't. Let's keep it going. That's it. That's it. That's fair. Can I talk my listen? I really wanted to talk my shit last week. I really wanted to talk my stuff last week. 11. I didn't do that. So guys, you know,
talk what though? It ain't like it's just like, come on. It's what you want to talk. Hey, listen, y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all something. I'm gonna tell y'all something about this dude, man. Listen, if you up by even a fraction on him, look, hey, But if he get up just one on you, my God, like he won the damn Super Bowl. Let me talk my talk.
Let me talk my talk.
Come on, man. It's 11-1 versus 10-2, man. That's right there, man.
I was one game away from being undefeated.
Oh my God.
One game away from being. I can't even remember who lost it for me. Norfolk lost that week. Who? It was a close game too.
I think it was that Grambling Texas Southern game.
It was Alabama State and Alcorn.
Yeah, Mobile game.
Yeah, I went with Alcorn and Alabama State pulled it off. Sorry asses. That's what happened that last week game. So this isn't for week 11, guys. This is for week 10. But I just want to talk my shit. So, you know.
It took me way back down memory lane.
Hey, come on, Minnie. Talk to him now. So, you know, just go do a little week 10. You know what I'm saying? Even though I picked Prairie View to win that game. Oh man, that Morgan State comeback was crazy. That was crazy.
Norfolk, man, listen. Odoms and them 2-point conversions, man.
He better stop it. He better stop it. He better stop it.
Hey, he be like, hey, y'all want to? Hey, and I can remember a game. Listen, I'll take you back. His interim year, 2012. Southern was playing Alabama State in Baton Rouge. I think Isaiah Crowell, remember Isaiah Crowell, the running back that had from Georgia, had transferred to Alabama State.
Yeah.
And Alabama State was up on this, man, and Southern came back crazy in the game. And I think either we scored on as time expired or it was a couple seconds. And I just remember, hey, we went for 2 in that one. We didn't get it either. So, I mean, I don't know what it is, man. Look. With Odoms and them 2-point conversions. But hey, he be trying to win them things though. So
he be trying to end the game right there. But he be trying to end the game with the wrong players. I'm like, why are you putting this ball in Jaden Daniels' hands, boy? You better run that thing.
That's the second time he's done. He did that against FAMU.
Fail. F.
And that's crazy. Just think of how much chaos that would have caused even now had Norfolk squeezed that one out.
Woo.
Yeah. But yeah. Norfolk, at that one point, was it 38-37?
Yeah, it was crazy. And the thing about it, if anybody, I mean, it was the last week, but what was crazy about that game was they had Norfolk kicked it off. Like it was like 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. They punt the ball. Leatherberry takes it to the crib and they get a running into the kicker call and they got to punt that hole again. Oh, you talking about my heart dropped. I was like, oh, game over. I was like, game over. Boy, I said, boy, man. But Morgan pulled it out, boy. But that was
that one to keep me tied or like right there. But and then Grambling. I don't know what happened with Grambling that time. Yeah, man.
Who they lose? Oh, they lost to Bethune. Yeah. That was a great pick by me. That was a great pick by me. Bethune don't do too much winning, but I called the right one. They don't do
Yeah.
too much, but I called the right one. I appreciate that. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. But you know, just want
It took me way back,
hey,
back down memory lane.
tie that thing on up.
You know what I think is amazing though? Even though we have our different picks, at the fact that this late in the season, we're literally all knotted up.
Yeah.
And this is a hell of a good winning percentage. A lot of them jabronis in them comment sections that be telling me I'm lying and that ain't gonna hit, that you don't know football. Hey, I want to see y'all record after 12 weeks of football. Because I can remember beginning of the season, whoo, they was on me, Scotty.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't know MEAC, you don't know SWAC, you don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about? Hey, 98 and 30, come on, that's a shit. That's worth. They get you a raise as a coach right there. They get you extensions.
All time leading. You might go down in the Hall of Fame with somebody's school.
Man, that's pretty good record, man. So hey, shout out to us. It's just crazy that we
2
both
weeks
end up 98 and 30 at this point in the season, man. That's what the race to 100.
Yeah. 2 games left. Now Reese, Perry sent them in, but he was like, "Hey, let's just do it. Let's just do the next week, so we won't have to worry about it."
I mean, it was perfect. I mean, we were tied, so let's just hold up and do it in front of the people. So the fact that we tied, we go from here. We 0-0 right now.
Here we go. You know, so that's how you start the game, 0-0. All right, let's get into this week 11 game recap. UAPB. Oh, this is all wrong. I don't think UAPB played Valley. No, they didn't.
They play A&M.
Yeah, that's all wrong. All right, skip that. My bad. It's A&M. Who cares? Alcorn versus Texas Southern. What you got, P?
I guess I'll go UAPB A&M, since they seem to be a hot topic of yours. You're trying to put them in the spotlight. UAPB getting the victory. I mean, excuse me. Look, you got me giving them. They would have wished they have gotten the victory. But 52-24 by the Bulldogs, man. Alabama A&M and Connell Maynard go on the road and get a much-needed victory. There you go.
There, I knew I had them, though. I knew I had them.
A much-needed victory for Alabama A&M, especially coming off just that close loss to Southern the week before, 25-20. Alabama A&M goes to 4-5, 2-3 in conference play. The Golden Lions 3-7, 2-4. You look at Alabama A&M in this game: 505 total yards of offense, 149 in the air, 356 on the ground. Scotty,
that's ridiculous.
A&M ran for 356 yards on the ground. 3 turnovers in this game, two by way of interception, 1 by way of fumble on the other side for UAPB, who went 1 of 8 on third downs, 317 total yards, 172 in the air, 145 on the ground. Hey, man, Mekhi Hagan did everything. But listen, it's literally Mekhi Hagan and Giovanni Gibson. You shut those 2 dudes down, it's over with. Mekhi Hagan, 13-29, 172 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. B.J. Curry has been knocking at the door, but he hadn't just really had an opportunity to get through there from the running back position. 10 carries, 59 yards, but he added in a touchdown with his longest run of 14 yards in that game. And Giovanni Gibson, I mean, got to be the top receiver in the conference, top receiver, one of the best receivers in the nation. He's going to probably most likely be near FCS All-American. 6 receptions, 86 yards, and a touchdown. On the other side, Xavier Langford, 5 of 9 for 84 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 interceptions. Cornelius Brown saw some action as well in this game, 9 of 12 for 65 yards. Both those guys together for 149 yards, a touchdown, and 2 interceptions. And then Donovan England does what he does best. That's run the ball. How about 26 carries, 148 yards with 5 touchdowns, ladies and gentlemen? 5 of them things. Kenan Hambrick, 7 receptions, 86 yards, and a touchdown. And then Devin Herron, 1 reception, 24 yards. But I think England with 5 touchdowns, man, you feed them, and feed them. And then you look at Alabama A&M and the Bulldogs putting up massive points, 52 points after being held to 20 points the week before. And they get a victory much needed for them on the road against the Golden Lions.
Dog, how does a quarterback go 5 of 9 for 84 yards and you win the game? That's crazy.
Because you got a running back who can't be stopped.
Dog, UAPB's defense is ass. Just straight ass juice. All right, let's get into your 4 or 5 overtimes. How many overtimes y'all went through with Bethune?
5 of them things.
What, you went to the game?
Stressing me out. All right, let's talk about this one. Hey, I just want to ask people out there. Once again, remember in the beginning of the season when we was doing preseason stuff, and I said Southern is going to be the surprise team?
You did say that.
And everybody, once again, I don't know what I'm talking about. It's just you just saying anything. Aren't you surprised at this point? Aren't you surprised? Are you not entertained?
Yeah, because they're really not a good team, though. They're really
But
not.
hey, you got to be entertained by all these overtime games, surviving, a will to win. The SWAC really ain't that good, but yet we still finding a way to try to win these games. And haven't we surprised y'all? Look where we at. I'm pretty sure plenty of you guys have wanted Southern to probably be where Grambling is right now. Probably where Pine Bluff is right now. Probably even more where Prairie View is right now. But yet, Southern's at the top. And they got a victory in 5 overtimes. 25-23 shows how much y'all know. Jaguars improved to 6-4, 5-1 in conference play. Hey, the Wildcats of Bethune-Cookman, hard fought, man. They are a tough team. 2-8, 2-4, Scotty. 397 total yards of offense in this one for the Jaguars. 164 in the air. But Southern just lines up and says, you know what? I'm just going to run it and then run it and run it and run it. And what you going to do about it? 233 yards on the ground rushing, 2 turnovers, one by way of fumble, the other one an interception. On the other side for the Wildcats, who pretty much had this game 10-0 at some point, and then Southern battles back. You know, it was 3-0 going all the way into the fourth quarter.
That's
the Wildcats,
crazy.
309. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying that's crazy. It was 3. It got to 25-23. It was 3-0 going into the fourth quarter.
3-0 going into the fourth quarter. The Wildcats score 7. Southern scores 10. It goes into overtime at 10-10. The Wildcats 309 total yards of offense, 243 in the air, only 66 on the ground. Clean game by them because they didn't turn it over. Xavier and T-Set had a tough time in this one. The redshirt freshman quarterback who had just shined the week before against Alabama A&M comes into this game. He struggled. 8 of 18 for 111 yards, no touchdowns, but he didn't turn it over in terms of interception. There was a fumble. Then you look at Jalen Woods. It went all the way down to the third-string quarterback, the Georgia native, 5 of 10 for 53 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. Kobe Dillon had to be the dog of the day, 19 carries, 130 yards, along with Kendrick Grimes right there behind him, 15 carries for 90 yards. On the other side, Cameron Ramson for the Wildcats of Bethune-Cookman, 23 of 36, 243 yards, 2 touchdowns. And then Dennis Palmer, the running back, number 34, 19 of 84 for a touchdown. In this one, it went back and forth. And as you know, once you get deep into the overtime rules after that one possession, you did have to go for straight 2-point conversions. No touchdown and a 2-point conversion, just one play apiece. And both teams traded. And then it's Southern's defense who, once again, steps up when it matters. It happened against Texas Southern. It happened against Prairie View. It happened against Alabama A&M. And once again, when they needed it, it happened against Bethune-Cookman, stopping them just short of the goal line. And then a failed 2-point conversion. And the Jaguars, they're now the cardiac Jags is who they are. In 3 overtimes this year, they are 3-0 against Prairie View. I almost forgot. Against Texas Southern and against Bethune-Cookman. So shout out to the Jaguars. Continuously finding it ain't pretty. Who cares when you just get the dub? It's ugly. It ain't pretty, but who cares? It just feels better to be on the other side to be able to cheer on that dub than to be sitting there looking like that. And see, the hard thing about them overtime losses when you're on the other side, it's like, how do we lose that game? Prairie View was up big on Southern. Southern battled back, blocked the field goal. Willie Miles found a way to get it done in overtime. Prairie View gave it away. Texas Southern. How do you miss the punt? How do you mess up the punt? Some say just take the safety, then kick it deep, and then force Southern to drive the whole length of the field. It hurts to be on the other side of it. And Bethune-Cookman, this one really hurt. As you saw in that last play, one of the linemen just slammed his helmet through it as far as he could. Just couldn't take it. So the Jaguars at the top, once again, rocking and rolling, man. So aren't you surprised? I said surprise team shit. Surprise. Hey, Southern. I know y'all hate it, especially because it's me. But I got the gloat for the Jaguars. And shout out to Terrence Graves and his staff. And you know what, Scotty? The team is resilient. It's not pretty considering Southern had to go down to his third-string quarterback. Defense wins championships if only they can get that offense going. The run game is there. You just got to get a consistent quarterback who can get in and play. But I think most importantly, you know how we all talked about this coaching staff and how the critics were saying maybe this coaching staff is too old and all of these other things. When you're starting to get like this, it seems like that experience is kicking in of the coaching staff and that experience to be able to keep these guys leveled when the game is on the line. That's what it matters. You have to be able to keep. Have you ever seen Fred McNair when he was at Alcorn and Alcorn should have been in panic situations? You remember that game they came back against UAPB?
That's all he did right there. Look at the scoreboard.
Hey, all of that matters. And listen, we cannot act like the SWAC refs is playing a huge part, man. It is tough out here in the SWAC going against the officials. And when I was in Jackson last week, I had the white hat. He was walking by. I was near the end zone. He just, you know, when somebody looking at you like you look familiar, like I know you, and he just kept staring at me as he walked by. And I was just like, hey, you know, I didn't know. I said he must have watched the show. He must have watched the show. So he saw me when we was critical of the SWAC refs and put those pictures up. And I can imagine some of those officials do watch the show. So, but nonetheless, man, I think that coaching staff with the experience, the resilience of this team, once again, talk all you want. It feel better to win than it does to lose. And I don't care how you win. Southern right now winning the surprise team. And one more game, they clinched the SWAC West. Bet y'all didn't see that one coming, Prairie View. Bet you didn't see that one coming.
Yeah, what happened to them Prairie View shirts?
I thought the SWAC championship, the West Division, and the championship was all supposed to go through A.W. Mumford West.
That's what it said right here. That's what they said. It said December 7th. Prairie. They must have got to do a do-over on that one.
Yeah. I invite all Prairie View fans to the upcoming SWAC championship game. Don't hold yourself out. Did he go ahead and get a hotel? Oh, he didn't need a hotel room. He thought it was at home. He thought it was at Prairie View. Gotcha.
He already had his tailgate spot reserved. That's what he thought.
Well, he can sit there and watch the SWAC championship at that reserved spot. But, you know, we'll get to Prairie View, though. But, yeah.
Let me ask you.
Out to Southern.
Last week you went to Powell State for homecoming, right?
Yeah, I was at Jackson State last week.
Come on, hit us with a story time with Perry White.
This guy, dude. This dude here. Get me off there right there.
It is a little story time with Perry White.
Oh, boy, this dude, wow. I had a good time. Listen, Jackson State, right? I didn't know how it was going to turn out. I went up there. I had on a Southern shirt. You know, if I wanted to smoke, I was asking for the smoke. But listen, my man, Deputy Mario, man, showed me a good time. First person I saw when I got there, man. Upstanding guy, man. Really is an upstanding guy, man. I mean, when you talk about guys that wear the badge that are officers, and you say, man, there's some good dudes out there, man. When stuff happens, and they say you can't blame the hope, man, that's a good dude right there, man. You can't listen. If I ever had, that's who I call. Hey, I don't know who this is walking in my neighborhood, Deputy Mario, but I'm sure, hey, and he gonna handle it, and he gonna handle it the right way. So, man, appreciate you, Deputy Mario. And listen, appreciate everybody. You know, I gotta say, Jackson fans can handle one Southern fan. They can't handle a lot of us. And I noticed that because the hate wasn't crazy. Like, this is the first time I went to Veterans Memorial Stadium for a Jackson State game and didn't cuss or get into it with not one single person. I couldn't believe it. Shout out to Jackson, because you were on your best behavior on last week. I said, you know what, it's just because they can handle one Southern. It's when it's too many of us. That's when the issue is when I bring everybody else with me. But just one, man. Listen, I had a good time. I walked around. I saw the tailgate. I went in and out of the tailgates. Had an opportunity to meet people, man. People walked up saying, hey, I love the show. I watch you guys. I watch you, Perry. You know, and I just was kind of staying out of the way, but people would notice. Then, you know, the people who not going to speak, maybe the people who so much may not like me, they looking at you with that familiarity. You know, like,
I know that, man.
I know that. Yeah. That's the dude that be talking all that talk with.
Yeah.
You know, man, Travis took care of me. I had a chance to see. This was I think my second or third time meeting the king. But when he saw me, it was just like one of, oh man, what's up with it? No problems, man. And so I had an opportunity to really enjoy myself. I went from the field to the stands. I went through the stands. I just wanted to experience it all over. So, man, I had a good time. And I will say, man, Jackson State, man, they showed up for the team. They got the big victory over UAPB. And it was love. And that was the first time I saw love. And it wasn't hatred. So I said, you know, even when I went to the Jackson Prairie View game one year for the SWAC championship, I got some hate. Oh, it was in them that year. And I got hate from both sides, but it felt good. And I said when I left that game, hell, I got more love in Jackson than I did in Pine Bluff.
That's crazy.
That was crazy for me. So I enjoyed myself, man. Shout out to Jackson State. Shout out to everybody that I had an opportunity to meet. You know, when people would speak to me, I asked their name because they say, hey, you pair, they know me, but hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you. What's your name? And I try to do my best to remember everybody's names. And so if I don't remember everybody's name, I just want to say it was good to meet you. Even had opportunities to chop it up with my man, Rob J. Man, him and his group, funny. Some people handed me tickets, didn't realize, you know, that I was straight for the game. They just gave me 2 tickets. So I just walked around and I looked towards the ticket office with the ticket booth where people was getting tickets. Man, I just walked up to 2 ladies. I said, hey, man, y'all want to go to the game? He's like, yeah, that's what we're trying to do. And I just handed them tickets. That lady looked at me for a second like, what the hell? I said, y'all go enjoy yourself, man. So that's what it was all about, man. I enjoyed myself. I hope they enjoyed themselves. And it looked like the entire Jackson State fan base enjoyed themselves with a big victory over UAPB.
Dog, let me tell you something. So I'm glad you had a great experience down there in the pothole Mecca. What's getting on my nerves, right, is I've been getting messages since Alabama State lost and FAMU lost. I've been getting text messages like, Scotty, you coming to the SWAC championship? I'm like, if y'all niggas thought I wouldn't, I haven't gone to a regular season game at Pothole State. You think I'm coming to a SWAC championship in Jackson, Mississippi? Boy, you out your cotton picking mind. So I can get escorted out of another game? No, I'm good.
Go sit in the stand.
I guess.
Yo, you want the limelight on the sideline. Of course you gonna get pointed out and it's gonna be you in the stands with 60,000. You not gonna
it ain't 60. More like
I'm just giving you the Jackson State
35.
Yeah, okay, whatever. I'm just getting my Mike Reed on, but get in the stands, man. Jackson State got some great views in that stadium, man. When you get up there, you can see real good. Just go sit in the horseshoe. Yeah, go be amongst the people. I went amongst the people. Look, I walked through the people, sit with the people. I sat with some folks, talked to them for a while. Go sit in the horseshoe. Go sit right in the mix.
If Rube go, listen. I can't promise because Key don't. She don't go to Jackson. She like Flowwood though. She don't go to Jackson though. But I don't know, man. But I've been getting dog when as soon as FAMU lost, dog. It was you coming to Jackson. You coming to Jackson? You coming to the championship game? You coming to Jackson? You coming to Jackson? I'm like, man, I'm not about to do none of that. I ain't about to do none of that.
You're a journalist, right? You say you're doing real journalism, right?
I'm doing it.
You say you're going out. If you say you going out and this is it, why not? Hey, if this is it, get your Dion on, get your last championship and get up out of there. Hey, tell them, come on, I got shit to do. Come on. Why not? If this is it, you like your Michael Jackson, this is it.
Oh, that was his final tour. That was his final tour. I gotta talk to Key. I gotta talk to Key because she ain't coming. You know what I'm saying? I don't usually go nowhere without Key, but I know she ain't coming. She's like, I've had my time at Jackson. I'm good, right? So
are you trying to say Jackson people are dangerous? Are you scared of these people?
No, I'm not scared of them. I just don't want to be bothered by them. Like, because it's like
you just gotta. It comes with the territory.
No. Listen. I'm not speaking for all 35,000, right? Let's keep it a buck. It's 35, but it's listen. Just like you can't account for the one dude that wants to go to Tuskegee's homecoming and think he had a gun range. I can't account for the one person who has a problem with me and doesn't, you know what I'm saying, and puts me in a predicament.
If they watching this show, they not gonna go that far. Them cats don't care. If they watching this all day, the most they got for you is some words like, man, Scotty, you be hating, you be hating on us, like,
and,
hey,
listen, and I've had that, and I'm cool. Like that part, I'm cool with. People come up to me, man, Scotty, you be hating. I be watching, but you be hating. You crazy, but you be hating. And I don't got no issues with that. I have no issues with that at all. Listen,
I think you should come. I think it would be okay. I don't think you're gonna get jumped. Yeah, you're gonna be all right, God. No, that ain't how that's gonna go. God, dog. Why Nick say that?
Oh man, that's a fair point. Nick got a fair point.
If I can survive Jackson, and I was one man, I was by myself. When I say by myself, you hear what I say, man. I be walking the streets of Jackson. I hit the back streets. I be all over the place. I walk through the tent. If Perry can survive, and I talk shit with the best of them, Scotty, you can survive. And I'm Southern. You think they don't like me? And you finally see, I've been keeping up with, I don't want to go down, but you see what it's like to be basically a Southern fan to deal with Jackson fans. All the pressure and the energy that sometimes is unwanted that come with that. That's why I love the rivalry. That's why I love it. I want to go back and forth with you. Yeah. Somebody say something. That's what I like about the rivalry. And now you've seen it, but the thing is, it's hard, I guess, because there's no claim directly to a specific institution. So when you get all of that Jackson hate, because there's nothing new to me and Southern fans. I've been getting Jackson hate a long time, Scotty. I'm talking about especially them days of just old school, just Facebook by itself in a group.
Yeah.
The hate been coming, but it comes with the territory. You just got to take it and roll. So, man, take your butt to Jackson, man, and enjoy the SWAC championship. You ain't got to be all on the sideline flag. Remember how you was at FAMU? You said you was all over the place?
Yeah, I did enjoy that.
Go sit your ass in the stands and just watch a championship game and enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
Actually get the experience of just being at the SWAC championship game from a fan, and then I think everything will be okay for you.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I always wanted to go to the M bar. I hear about it so much. I always wanted to go to the M bar. That's the only thing I haven't done since I like going to Jackson. Like I've been to Jackson. I've been to the little daiquiri jank. I've been to the old church.
I got this other spot I went to years, Freelawn or something like that. There's a couple spots I used to go to back in the day, man, because believe it or not, I got people who I went to school that I was cool with went to Jackson. I had 2 partners that was head drum majors at Jackson State, so I used to kick it in Jackson.
Yeah.
I told you I used to have them chicks from Milwaukee and Chicago, man. So, hey, Jackson, I ain't scared of. I just don't like spending the night in Jackson. When I get to Jackson, I like to come out of Jackson. And that last time with them little shorties I'm telling you about that was from Chicago, Milwaukee, there was a situation that occurred that could have went some type of way because I guess they regular dude, the regular dude, wasn't expecting the out of town dude this weekend and felt some type of way, but neither here nor there, man. I used to have a good time in Jackson, so.
Yeah, listen, they got ADs coming at the M bar. Mr. Campbell has been at the M bar. I've never been to the M bar. I've been to, I think it was like a lounge downtown Jackson. I've been to a cigar bar downtown Jackson. What else? Where else I've been to? I've been to that little club right by that circle, by Jackson. That's where I met Aubrey Miller the first time. Where else I've been in Jackson? Yeah, I've been to some establishments. I went to another place. It was like I can't remember the name. Me and Key went there. They had like a bungalow outdoor patio thing. It was pretty cool. But I had never been there. Now, the reason I'm gonna tell you why I never went to M bar. The reason I never went to M bar, everybody was like, Scotty, if you go to M bar, you're gonna get shot. Like that's literally what they told me. Straight up, no ifs and buts about it. So then I ain't gonna lie, name and faces. That's yeah. I've been there too. So I ain't never go. But now I'm seeing ADs and I'm like, damn, that's the spot. You know what I'm saying? I said, damn, why they want to keep me from the spot? You know what I'm saying? So I think that would be my if I went, I definitely want to swing through M Bar and get that experience.
Get your hands ready just in case you got to use.
Oh no, I don't mind throwing hands now.
I don't think you're gonna have to. That's what I'm saying. See, you trying to do all the stuff that may get you in. I don't put myself in situations, right? I try my best to maneuver. I done got a little older, got kids, So if you feel that threat, you follow your heart. But I don't think that threat will be at the game itself, being in the stadium. Now, you have seen Southern and Jackson fans in the melee that it can turn into in the stands.
Yeah, I see that.
Where hands have been having to been used and been called. But man, just enjoy yourself, man. I think for the most part, you're gonna have the folks who gonna hate you, and what they gonna do is just stay far away from you. They may yell something at you, but even when I'm walking there, all I get was who you think gonna win the game.
Yeah.
Perry, I see, so I think you'll be all right, dude.
So we'll see. I mean, as I said, I'm gonna talk to Key, and it's good. I'm gonna just.
And if it's Southern, doesn't that make it all the better for Key? She better come support. If she's supposed to be the Jaguars, you better come support the damn Jaguars. That's part of the Jaguar Nation, Key. That's how we do. Ohio, Alaska, it don't matter. You show up to support. That's why we roll the way we roll. Key.
I'm gonna make sure I clip this part for her so she can see it.
Yeah, that's how we roll. When we plan for something, we show up for it.
So we'll see. We'll see.
Don't be a sometimey Southern fan, Key.
Don't be a sometimey Southern fan. All right. Let's keep going. Powell State beats Valley, as we all expected.
Talking about Jackson. Listen, Jackson State, man, got it done. It was the last home game of the season, senior day for the Tigers taking on the Delta Devils. Not much of a rivalry here, but it is a game nonetheless of two Mississippi schools that have a deep history with each other. Mississippi Valley winless on the season after this one. The Tigers advanced. They're undefeated in conference play, 6-0. You look at Jackson State in this one, 473 total yards of offense, 105 yards passing. They were able to get it done on the ground, Scotty. This is what I'm liking to see from teams who can dominate in the run game. 368 rushing yards for the Tigers in this one. On the other side for the Delta Devils, it was a tough day. 190 yards of total offense, 130 in the air, only 60 on the ground. You look at Jacoby and Morgan in this one, 10 of 23, 76 yards and a touchdown. And then Zay McDonald, 1 of 1 for 29 yards and a touchdown. Irv Mulligan, hey, I like 5. I liked him since last year. And if it wasn't for the injury, I think he would have been in my nomination for SWAC Player of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year. I like what Irv Mulligan is doing and just how he is right now, the way he takes over game. 18 carries for 187 yards and a touchdown in this one. Jacoby and Morgan also added 12 carries for 68 yards. All I got for you is Mr. Irv Mulligan. If somebody see him, and I did not get a chance, I wanted to go shake his hand. Now, one of the players from Jackson State is somebody's son. Who's somebody famous or somebody got a son that's a receiver, I think, for Jackson State. Am I lying?
Marcus Dupree.
Yeah. Dupree from that play at Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I think his grandson scored a touchdown, and I was in the end zone, and they was all coming over celebration. I said, I don't know what the hell wrong with me. I yelled that happy homecoming, and he looked and saw that SU, bro. When I say he mugged me so hard, bro, and they just dragged him off, I was like, damn. And the guy next to him said, what'd you say to him? I said, happy homecoming. I guess he looked down and saw the SU on me, but all I got for you, man, is Mr. Irv Mulligan, man. I'm a fan. I didn't get a chance to go shake his hand after the game because there was so much going on, but there are a few guys that I really do like. He's one of those guys that I really do like because he stands out, and week in and week out, he shows why right now it looks like he's the best running back in this conference.
And listen, I mean, his backup, Travis Terrell, will give him a run for his money too. If he got the same amount of carries as he did, man, that kid's special as well. So, man, they got some guys back there, man, and they got that backfield is crazy. That's all I'm gonna say. That backfield is crazy. Yeah, I mean, but you can't be too trusted. They might have stole Valley's playbook too. So, I mean, it's possible. If you did it once, you can do it again.
You hate Jackson worse than Southern, don't you?
No, I'm just saying it's possible.
I thought we hated them, but there's a whole nother level of how you hate Jackson. Like, I hate them only when we play them. Like, and other than that, I really can't stand them. And you've seen how this goes back and forth, but I don't know what you got going on. It's like Jackson must have backdoored you for your old lady back in the day or something. Like, it's one of them where you just, I don't care. You never gonna let that go.
I mean, isn't this? I'm just saying the truth. They probably know they play but too. I'm not hating. It's just it's possible. If you did it once, and mama, listen, what you know what them black mamas say? If you a lie, you a cheat. And if you a cheat, you a steal. Like, I mean, listen. That's just facts. That's just facts. I'm not, no hating on here. Just hey, Perry, somebody wanted me to show you this. They said, show this to Perry. So
This is when I said happy homecoming to him.
yeah.
This is when I said it, and I think it's right after the touchdown. And he looked right at me. He came to me, and he walked over, and I saw him celebrating. I'm like, "Well, happy home," because that was my thing.
Yeah.
You know, when it's homecoming, you heard me at Southern. That's all I got for you. Happy homecoming to you.
What you got? What you got in your hand? You got a plastic. What you drinking on?
A beer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they sell them shit. So if they sell them, I buy them. I'm supporting the local economy that weekend. So I was enjoying. It's homecoming. I'm at the game. I'm enjoying myself, man. And I'm taking in the site so I can come back and report on it. I had a chance to see the game myself. I'm shouting out a Jackson player, Dupree, right there, and he mugged me, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Because he understands the Southern and Jackson rivalry. So it's all good. But yeah, who the hell took this picture?
That was on the ESPN broadcast.
Oh, they got me.
You know how many
calf muscles, baby?
Dog,
calf strong, ain't you? Hey, them calf muscles strong, ain't you?
Oh man.
But yeah, man, that's me big chilling. I was enjoying myself right there, man. Enjoying myself and watching the game. Jackson had just scored. Hell of a touchdown for Dupree on that one. Is that his last name? Dupree? What's his last name?
Dupree.
Okay, hell of a touchdown for that young man right there, man. Jackson was stalling out, and then he found a way to get in the end zone. So, hey, Jackson folks, I enjoy myself. You see, I'm drinking a beer. I think that's Deputy Mario right there. You know, right there next to me in the brown. So,
shout out.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to FAMU and PV.
Woo! I didn't see this one coming, Mr. Campbell. And Mr. Campbell ain't really been talking noise like the way I remember him talking noise this year. Been a little quiet from the FAMU. For matter of fact, I ain't really seen FAMU say much this year in the comments and all the way around. But Prairie View, I didn't expect this one from you. Hey, listen, you shocked the hell. I swear, when I saw this score, I thought ESPN was messing up something as it was happening. Prairie View got a victory over FAMU, who beat them twice last year, both times in Tallahassee. But I guess PV said, hey, come on over here to Texas. Let me show you something. And that's what they did, 31-12, as the Panthers improved to 5-5, 3-3 in conference play. FAMU did not need to take this L at the time that they did because it hurt. 5-4 overall, 3-2 in conference play. The Panthers, everybody, 344 total yards of offense, 193 in the air, 154 on the ground. A lot of penalties in this one, though. 11 penalties for 100-plus yards against the Panthers. But FAMU, 354 total yards of offense, 214 in the air, 140 on the ground, 3 turnovers, 2 interceptions, and a fumble in this one. Jaden Johnson, 12 of 16, 193 yards, a touchdown and an interception. Then you got Bingman, who's 7 carries, 68 yards. McDowell, 10 carries for 43 yards and 2 touchdowns. And then Brooks, 4 carries for 25 yards. And then James Barnes, the kid showed out, 5 receptions for 117 yards and a touchdown. His longest of the game was 70 yards. And for FAMU, it was just a quiet day. Nothing for them, 12 points. They let Prairie View outscore them and outdo them and outclass them. And then even more so, I saw at the end of the game where I don't know what this was, but I saw on a ladies live named Ashley, and I saw on some other ones. I guess after the game, FAMU players went in the stands and tried to fight the band or whatever. I don't know what the hell has happened and what happened, but I saw the video, so I can speak on what I saw. But FAMU just looked classless at the end of the game. I don't know what was said and what was done, but I'm going to tell you this, Rattlers. I was not expecting to let the Panthers get past you, especially after the way you dominated them last year. But shout out to PV. And PV has now won 3 games in a row since that tough Friday night game against Pine Bluff. Might be a little bit too late for you, Panthers, but hey, too little, too late. But shout out to you, beating FAMU. Jackson State should be happy.
Okay. This is the one thing I can't stand about HBCU stuff is people overhype something. If you watch the video, it is literally one player in the stands talking to the parents and trying to keep the parents and the band from getting into it. There is no other players going up. I don't even know how people get the players fighting the band. If you look at the video, unless there's another video that I haven't seen, but the video that has been circulating is literally one player climbing up to talk to the parents to not get involved into the situation. That's number one. Number two, this was probably the best opportunity PV was ever going to ever beat FAMU because of you pretty much catch them on a rebound. Now, my issue is how does Valley take them down to 1 point and you can't, like, losing the PV to me is like losing the UAPB. I'm being so serious. Like, that's how embarrassing to me this loss is, because you can't lose to Prairie View. Like,
I love it. Hey, I love it because you talk all that shit about Prairie View, and you've been rocking and rolling with FAMU, and look what Prairie View does.
And it was disheartening. What's disheartening is this. It's like, okay, if we had Daniel out this game, we win this game, and I'm not even thinking twice about it. But now this is the problem. You go to your backup looks inept. The play calling for your backup looks inept. It's just like a catch-22 of what you've been seeing all year, right? It's like so many times for FAMU, Daniel has been your saving grace. And then you lose Daniel. So now it's like, damn, who's our saving grace? You can't trust your defense because they've been shaky all year when they want to decide to play, when they don't decide to play. So, and the fact that they let James Burns go for 5 receptions, 117 yards, like, what are we talking about? And if anybody's talking about your third string quarterback has played for the last 4 games. Shut up. Why are you talking to me? Like, it'll be different if Jaden Johnson, if this was Jaden Johnson, if your starting quarterback went down the same game and Jaden Johnson came into the game, I would be like, yeah, okay, it's hard to get a backup ready, right off the rip. Jaden Johnson has played for the last 3 games. Jaden Johnson was playing when you lost to UAPB. What are we talking about? It's not the same. Not the same.
I'm okay with all those PV people who was talking all that noise in the beginning of the season. Make sure you call in tonight and give Scotty hell tonight. I'm welcoming you.
Give me hell for what?
I'm welcoming you.
Ass.
Yeah, no, because I'm welcoming you because just 2 weeks ago he argued me up and down. FAMU was the better team against Jackson.
They were,
but Jackson won.
They were.
I guess FAMU was the better team against PV.
Not when Junior's playing, no.
Well, it don't matter. PV got the victory. PV, line of where you at tonight. You got to be the main one.
How does that not matter when you down to your backup quarterback? Like, how does that not matter?
Ain't got nothing to do with me. Next man up, Scotty. Ain't got no excuse.
How does that not matter?
Southern got down to his third string quarterback.
It cannot not matter.
Hey, PV fans, if it's 12, 13.
Your guy isn't hurt, though. Noah Biden didn't get hurt. Noah Biden never got hurt. T-Set never got hurt.
T-Set did get hurt.
He wasn't the starter and got hurt. Noah Biden played so bad that they took his ass out and put T-Set in. That's completely different than your starting quarterback getting knocked out of a game. Completely different. PV still ass. I had no choice but to take the L.
T-Set did get hurt. He got hurt against Jackson State.
It's not what I'm saying. It's not what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. Your starter, listen, T-Set got in the game because Noah was ass. So they put T-Set in the game to start for Jackson State the next game. It was no situation where Noah is your saving grace. Noah gets hurt, and you're like, hey, T-Set, just go in the game. That's not how it happens. That's not That's not how it happened.
Man, don't nobody care about what's happening at FAMU. They lost fair and square. Prairie View beat them. Okay, they lost one guy. Okay, that's the whole team?
Have you not watched FAMU?
I've seen them. But damn, the way you...
Literally,
okay, so how was FAMU the better team against Jackson if it was just one dude? That means the rest of the team wasn't hitting. It just took one dude.
It's not about... Okay, perfect example. Did you see the Dallas Cowboy game? Okay, I explain it to you. The Dallas Cowboys threw for 90 yards in passing. Even though Dallas is not a good team, you're better with your starting quarterback. We're still not good, but you're better with your starting guy. It's the same thing with Daniel Richardson. FAMU has flaws, but Daniel Richardson covers up a lot of those flaws because of how good he is. When you bring in Junior, there is no flaw covering. You have to play a perfect game because you do not have Daniel Richardson. Very much, that's it. That's how I go.
It can't be like that if Daniel Richardson goes out against a Prairie View team who you say is like losing to Pine Bluff.
It is.
The talent alone of FAMU should have just finessed him out of this game, even without a starting quarterback.
Do you not see the 2 interceptions? He is not capable of... See, Daniel can throw 2 interceptions and give you 4 touchdowns. Junior is not capable of doing the same. It is a different game. Period.
I can care less, fam. You lost that game. And I could understand, Scotty, if it was 13-12, 38-37. It was 31-12.
It still would be a tough loss to lose to Prairie View. Like, they're garbage. So for me, dog, it stings because I'm like, Prairie View? Like,
Scotty.
What?
Scotty. It's rough in the SWAC. It's rough in the SWAC, and this just experience. This rough in the SWAC. That's what this is.
How you gonna run the ball? You haven't ran the ball all season. What kind of dumb shit is that? Run the ball then. What the fuck? Have you not watched FAMU all season? They have lived and died with Daniel Richardson. Have we not been watching the same game?
Hey, y'all, don't get him riled up. He gonna get riled up trying to defend that FAMU.
Come on, man. It's ridiculous.
He's getting riled up.
Trash, bro. Absolutely trash.
Let's just take that L on your schedule and keep moving, man. God, dog.
All right, we'll see what y'all
take that L and keep moving.
I
know you didn't want it against Jackson.
I'll make sure I keep that same energy for y'all. I'll make sure.
Yeah, you make sure. It ain't no different because you done had that energy all year. Even when I text you when we win, you said, well, y'all still sorry. So the energy ain't
sorry. Everybody know y'all sorry.
Okay, I'm just saying, got your ass caught slipping right here, didn't you? And it don't feel good.
It's not slipping when you got a backup quarterback.
Come on, man. You talking about a backup quarterback? What about the rest of the team?
It'll be slipping if it was Daniel. If Daniel had lost this game, I would be like, damn.
Ain't Bama State down to no quarterback and still finding a way to get it done?
That's fair.
So if you're talking about better teams, I'm just saying the overall team. I get it, Richardson. Yes, nobody want to ever lose their starting quarterback. But if you just got supposed to be the better team, at some point, I'm supposed to see the rest of the team step up and win this because it's a team game. Nope. It's a team sport. Damn, we going to live and die with Daniel Richardson? They let Prairie View get him. And just take that ass whooping. Take that, and just, hey, you'll move on. This one of the ones that hurt because they got that over you now until next year.
No, I mean, it's Prairie View. They couldn't win a game when they were supposed to. When we whooped that ass twice, one for homecoming, smack that ass. Then for a SWAC championship, smack that ass again. So you win a game that actually when they need to win a big game, then they can come holler at me.
But the thing about it is,
they win a big game, come holler at me.
Why Prairie View like this? It hurt FAMU's chances for possible a SWAC East title. This hurt them. This damn near basically knocked them out the way.
The Jackson was the end all be all. Let's keep it a buck. That the schedule coming down is weak. It just is. The SWAC schedule coming down the line is weak. I mean, they got Alabama State, but the rest of the schedule is just a weak schedule. So it's like I wouldn't expect Jackson State to lose the rest of the time going forward. But my thing is simple. Prairie View, what can Prairie View really talk about? Like, you haven't won anything. Is this how far we've fallen? Because I I remember when. That's why I bought this shirt, because I knew this shit wouldn't happen. Let me blow myself up to make it very clear. So this is how far we've come. Oh, I'm counting my chips early. I'm counting my chips early, and you third in the West.
Hey, PV fans, this one hurt him.
Stop.
Hey, he hurt behind this one, PV fans. Hey, y'all cutting deep with this one, y'all.
Stop it, PV. What we talking about right now? Really? We 40 balled y'all. We 40 balled y'all for homecoming, and then we mollywopped you for a SWAC championship twice. Come on, what we talking about, man? What we talking about? Come on, man, stop it.
Calm down, Scotty. Wipe your forehead. Lift your glasses. Wipe up between you. Don't get too hot up in here, Scotty.
What we talking about, man? What? Stop it. Prairie View is ass, and they always gonna be ass. Come on, man, stop it.
I tell you what, had Prairie View and Bama State won those games this weekend, you would have been putting a lot of respect on Bama State against Jackson State this weekend. I know that much. Just because it would have kept FAMU chances alive. But if those two teams had won those games, you would have put a lot of respect on Bama State and Jackson. You would have never said the other those words.
I probably would have picked Bama.
Was favorable for Jackson
it wouldn't matter win or lose. I was going to pick Bama State win or lose because I do believe Bama State it's a style make fights. Even though they don't have the offense to really put up points, they do have the defense to stop it. But I'll tell you this game actually made me hesitant because if they let Grambling run for 100 and something yards, I'm like, I was going to pick them. But then when I saw this game against Grambling, I was like, damn, you let Grambling run for 100 yards? And they ain't got no quarterback. So that made
Jackson let Grambling beat them. That's just how the SWAC is wacky like that. That's what's crazy. And then Jackson just didn't lose to Grambling. Grambling soundly won that game.
Yeah, they did whoop their ass. But once again, I still thought Jackson was the better team. But like I said, they lost, and that's fair. But I was a little skeptical. I do think, it is the whole. It is the whole. It's different. You know what I'm saying? Down in, I've learned that from my time being here. Is like that whole is definitely something different. But I just think styles make fights. And I think Alabama State, the style that they play, it helps them against Jackson State because Jackson State to me is a very one-dimensional team. And passing works off of the run. It doesn't jumpstart their offense. So we'll see how it goes next week. I'm a little skeptical on it, but Grambling, Alabama State, great game, by the way.
Yeah, great game. Came down 1 point, 24-23 down in the hole in Grambling, Louisiana. This was a great, when you look at Grambling in this one, 247 yards of offense. They struggled passing the ball, only 76 passing yards in this game, Scotty, for Grambling State, 171 on the ground. On the other side for the Hornets, 377 total yards, 280 in the air, 97 on the ground, a turnover apiece by both teams. I don't really have much. Alabama State was up 20-10 at halftime. They held on just to lose it. 14 unanswered points by Grambling in the fourth quarter to seal the deal and walk away. And listen, Bama State was still in the hunt, which I thought it was going to set up a mega game next week against this coming week with Jackson State. But I got to say this. How about the SWAC West? As much trouble and trash talking people have said about the SWAC West, the SWAC West went 3-1 versus the SWAC East this week. And it went head-to-head with two of the better teams against two of our lesser teams out of the West against the East. Prairie View getting a victory over FAMU and kind of dousing their SWAC championship hopes. The same thing with Grambling, dousing Alabama State's possible hopes for a SWAC championship berth. And then Southern beating Bethune-Cookman. Bethune-Cookman trying to douse Southern's SWAC championships berth. And so then the only one who failed in the SWAC West was, of course, Pine Bluff falling to Alabama A&M. But 3-1 this weekend, the SWAC West, who is, as we've seen all season, has been probably the weaker side, was able to get some major victories over some SWAC East teams. So I like that. And so I think that's something to take into consideration. And it's something to realize in this league, man, any given week, you can get beat. And I could have sworn I thought Bama State was going to go in and beat Grambling. But when it's 1 point, it's nothing you can do about that but just take that and keep moving. So Bama State is going to have to shake this one off and put it behind them real quick as they go home this weekend against Jackson State.
This okay, man. Listen. when I say that, I don't say that every week, but I need to be saying it. Coaching matters. Coaching matters. And no matter how much credit and kudos you want to give, and Eddie Robinson deserves somewhat of some kudos because of what they've battled with, and he's still come out and kept these games competitive. How you close out games are the difference between winning and losing. And on third down, your kicker has been shaky ever since the FAMU game. He missed 4 field goals against FAMU in that game. He has been shaky ever since. How you do not put the ball in the middle of the field, it will never make sense to me. It will never make any sense. And I promise you, nobody asked that nigga on the SWAC your coat call, hey, Eddie Robinson, why did you not put the ball in the middle of the field for your kicker? They want to ask dumbass questions like, oh, you guys have had, you guys have, Grambling ran for 170. Who asked it? Who asked it? Who asked it? I got to give him kudos. Whoever asked it, I got to give him kudos. Who asked it? Perry, you asked it?
There's a Perry Daniels.
Oh.
Yeah, not me. I'm Perry White. There's a Perry Daniels that's on the SWAC coach's call. Hey, that's the one that, hey, Coach Hope, I think he's the one say, I hope that's not him.
That's not him. Oh, that's James Hill. I know that.
Oh, James Hill. Perry Daniels, another guy. I've never met him, and I often think sometimes when people watching the
he's
SWAC,
the one that asked the Mickey Joseph question that made him say he cussed. That made him, yeah.
I think people may sometimes hear that and may think it is me, but it's not. That's Perry Daniels. So
okay, shout out to Perry Daniels, he's been asking some pretty damn good. But now I would love to see the response, because to me, I'm not going to leave it. Listen, I'm going to put it in the best situation possible to help you get. This is for the game. This is for the game. Set it up to where you listen. If you set the ball up in the middle of the field and the kid misses it, it's football. It's football. But don't make the kick harder than it had to be. Don't make it harder than it had to be. And listen, I'm not gonna blame it on the quarterback. You know why? Because they called a pass play. How you gonna blame it on the quarterback? Yo, dumbass called the pass play. Call a quarterback keep and tell his ass to get to the middle of the field and take a knee. So what you think he was supposed to do? There was nothing to where he could throw the ball. He threw it out of bounds. They told me to pull it up. I'm gonna pull it up. I want to hear this. I want to hear this whack ass response, because that's just bad coaching. Coaching matters. Point blank. Period. Let me see what I can real quick. P.
Man, I think Eddie Robinson, man, even though they lost this game, man, look, you are hard on him, and I know why you hard on him, but man, I like E-Rob, though. I'm not going to lie, man. There's certain guys who, I feel some type of way, like Connell Maynard being one of them. But E-Rob, man, I really do like E-Rob, man. He gets it done. He finds ways, bro. So,
and he finds ways to lose, too.
You win some, you lose some, Scotty. I mean, that's the nature of the game.
All right, here we go. Found it.
Hey, Coach, on that last kick, was there any consideration on the down prior to that to center the ball in the middle of the field?
Yeah, it was, and that's why we had that rollout going to the right. And it was one of those situations where Kareem, young quarterback, he learns from every mistake. And earlier in the game, he held the ball too long, right, rolling out to the right. And his mindset was, hey, I'm gonna get it out my hand quick, which he did, to give ourselves a chance to make the kick. So in hindsight, the coulda, shoulda, woulda, yeah, you could have centered it. But my kicker made a kick from that same left hash earlier in the game. And so it's one of those kicks that we have to make. He understands that, but he made 3 earlier. So he's won a lot of football games for us. He's put us in position to win. And so all he can do is go out there and make the next kick.
Okay. What sense does that what sense does that make? You called a pass play earlier in the game. You telling me he held it too long. He took a sack when he wasn't supposed to. You called another pass play in a crucial down. He throws it away. So make me understand, what was he supposed to do? Did you tell him, hey, if the pass isn't there, then just go down? I'm confused. Like, logically, it doesn't make sense, because if you truly want to center the ball, and Perry, you watched enough football, what do? They get it, they run, they take a knee to center it, and they bring the field goal kicker out. That's what they do. Or you run the ball with the running back to the right side, and you tell him to get as much as he can, but try to get to the middle of the field. I'm sorry. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, he tried to clarify too, saying, the guy had made a similar kick from the same hash early in the game. So, I mean, I think it was one of those damn if you do, damn if you don't moments. And that's basically what it sounded like he's saying, damn if I do, damn if I don't. It was going to be what it was going to be. You gamble. That common football. You gamble plays. I mean, that's football. You can script, you can do it. You gamble. And sometimes you lose when you gamble. And when you lose, it hurts. Like losing by 1 point. It was a gamble.
Again, that's all understandable. That's all understandable. And let's be honest. Like, this is my issue when it comes to SWAC coaches. I feel as though they feel they're too big to be questioned. When you watch Power 5 coaches go through, they go through gauntlets of. I'm talking about, why did you make the sub at this time? Why did you make the play at this time? Why did you, like, that is how that's how analytical the reporters and the podcasters are able to be with Power 5 coaching. But when it comes to SWAC coaching, it's like, don't ask me no questions. Don't question me on this. Don't question me on that. This or and to me, and you can't even go into, you can't. It's hard to ask follow-ups and get in-depth questions, because the time goes by like this. You only got an hour and a half or whatever to ask all these questions. They get 5 or 6 questions and you keep it moving, where realistically you want to know what was going through the mindset. It's 3rd and 4. Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? Why didn't you run? Why, all those type of things.
What's interesting, I think, too, when you go back to talking about the media and the questions that they ask, and you talk about the Power 5 and Group of 5, whatever division or level that you're talking about, when the questions come, a lot of those media, and not even a lot of them, the vast majority of those media, that's what they do for a living. In this space of HBCU media, this is not what a lot of people do for a living. This is like something you do on the weekend, or you find time to do throughout the week once you've done throughout the day, or whatever original job or other job. So I think that plays a part too, in terms of studying these teams and being in depth, because when you look at those big levels, man, those people, that's all they do all day, every day. That's their job, media for that conference, for those teams, all day, every day. In this space and in this arena, it's not so much as that. Nobody's truly, you don't have where those media people that are asking those questions, where that's their 9 to 5. Solely 9 to 5 is to cover Black college and football, and the SWAC in particular, and study each and every team and watch every team's film, like Paul Feinbaum. Simple as that. That's what he does. So yes, he's going to be critical. He's going to ask those questions. He's just one. There's plenty others, but I just use that as an example that we know 9 to 5 every day. He's talking SEC football with Skip and Stephen A. He's talking SEC football midday. He's going to have his SEC football show, and then he's going to talk to, that's what he does. And so
when you get those people that's in this space, and I'm not saying they do it as a hobby, but they don't do it full time, it's part time. And we know because it's part time, it's the buddy system, it's the friendly system. Nobody in this space typically wants to upset anybody because you want to keep that camaraderie, because everybody know how sensitive somebody will get in this space quick and take it personal and not keep it business. So I think that's when you're looking for those type of questions, why you may not get those type of questions. I think that could be some clarification that these guys don't do this full time, it's part time. So you get part time questions and that's being asked. Does that make sense?
No, that's fair. That's fair. I can rock with that. I can rock with that. All right, let's get into these predictions for week 11? Yeah, week 12. Week 12? All right, whichever. All right, here we go. Hey, listen, let me tell you this. If FAMU loses this game, everybody got to get fired. I'm just giving it a buck with you. You can't lose this game. Now, yeah, you just can't lose this game. You just can't. Just shut up. Can't lose this game. Moving on. UAPB versus Southern. Where's this game at?
Wait, where's it at?
Yeah, I was asking.
A.W. Mumford Stadium, baby. Go ahead.
I'm gonna go with Southern. Grambling versus Alabama A&M. Where's this game at?
I want to say a Grambling.
I want to double check before I start picking.
I can tell you right now. Hold on, give me a second. No, you ain't going against the hole?
No, not the way it's looking.
Is that what you're saying? The game is at Alabama A&M. It's in Huntsville.
I'm gonna go A&M. Man, that could have been Friday Night Tykes against A&T. I would go Friday Night Tykes. Towson, what you got, P?
I ain't picked no team. You been rolling.
Yeah, I said it's on you. Like, yeah, go back.
Oh, okay. All right. Ooh, Valley and FAMU after last week. Ooh. Boy, if Valley get you, then what? What I'm gonna have to hear from Scotty next week?
Everybody need to get fired. That's what you're gonna hear until the season's over. Everybody need to be fired.
I'm rocking with FAMU. Of course, I'm looking at this Alabama A&M and Grambling game. I'm going Grambling over Alabama A&M on that one. I'm taking Towson over A&T, and of course, the game that I think Southern can clinch the SWAC West Division title. They'll be taking on Pine Bluff, my mom's alma mater, family school. You know, I'm the outcast as the Jaguar. There's gonna be a big one in the way Southern has been playing lately. These tight games, I imagine this one gonna be probably one of those tight ones back to back. Because Southern has not found a way to pull off on any teams, but I like Southern in that one. So I'm going FAMU, Grambling, Towson, Southern.
All right. Here we go. So UP, you pop it off.
All right. Richmond versus Hampton. I like Hampton. Christopher Zealous, Malcolm Mays. You boys know I fool with y'all over there at Hampton, but it's just gonna be a little too tough, that, in my opinion, against a perennial FCS team that does pretty well, and that's the Richmond Spiders. So I'm going Richmond there. Gardner-Webb taking on Tennessee State. I like Tennessee State and where they at right now. That loss to UT Martin, they shook back this past week. I like Gardner-Webb losing this game, so I'm taking Tennessee State in this one. Norfolk versus Delaware State. Of course, you all know. Do you have the soundbite for me? Long as a 2-point conversion don't come into play at the end of the game, I'm rocking Norfolk State over Delaware State. Morgan State and South Carolina State is a game I think people should watch. When I went back and I saw that Morgan game, 16-7 against North Carolina Central, Morgan's defense was stout in that game and gave North Carolina Central fits and problems. I still like the trajectory that Chennis Berry and his team are headed with the Bulldogs of South Carolina State, but I think Morgan may keep it closer than expected. If Morgan just has some offense, man, I'm telling you, dude, that's just the potential that they have, but that's why they lose these games, these tight games that they have. They just don't have enough to get over the hump. But I'm going to take South Carolina State
over Morgan. And then this is a tough game to pick right here. That's going to be over in Houston, Texas, between Bethune-Cookman and Texas Southern. Bethune-Cookman, once again, a long road trip, having to come to Baton Rouge, now having to go to Houston. It's tough, but I'm going to take, and I think Bethune-Cookman is growing as a team. They fight, and they fight, and they fight again. But I'm taking the Tigers of Texas Southern in this one. I really want to go with the Wildcats, but I think Texas Southern finds a way to get it done, in my opinion.
Okay, I'm rocking with you with Richmond and Tennessee State. I'm taking Dale State over Norfolk. I think offensively, what they showed against Morgan State, that they can put up some points, and I think they can put at. Where is the game at though, man? All this. Where is the game at? Let me see Dale State. I feel like you pull the schedule up. Let me see. Anybody can tell me where this game is.
Game is at Norfolk.
I mean,
11 a.m.
Damn. Yeah, like noon. Jesus.
Well, 11 a.m. my time. Yeah.
Yeah. Damn, Norfolk be getting them early ass games. They don't got no lights at their stadium. I don't never see Norfolk play a night game. But anyway, I'm gonna go Delaware State on this one. I'm gonna go Delaware State on this. I always like picking opposite team against you in Norfolk. It's fun.
It's just the fact you going with Delaware State coach as much as you talk about that, man, and now you picking them to win. So, hey.
That's how much I like going against you in Norfolk. It's like the bottom of the barrel, in front of the bottom teams. That's fine. That's fine with me. South Carolina State versus Morgan. I mean, they're just too balanced. I agree with you. This Bethune and Texas Southern game. It's Bethune-Cookman's defense is not good, and Texas Southern offense is not good. Bethune just won a game against A&M. I'm gonna go with Bethune. I'm gonna go with Bethune on this one. I think that D line is really gonna get after Jace. What I'm worried about is that Texas Southern defense being really impactful in getting turnovers and getting scooping scores or interceptions on that. But yeah, Texas Southern's offense is just really bad. It's really bad. Jace doesn't look good. The running game isn't coming along very well. So I'm gonna go Bethune on this one. Yeah, especially after how they played Southern. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna go with Bethune on this one. I think they're gonna have a good little bounce back game. All right, you know what time it is.
In this house, there's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house.
Hey man, listen. Prairie View was this close.
I'm curious to see this list, though. I'm so curious because it's been 2 weeks and oh shit. How does Grambling stay on the list and UAPB not there? And Grambling just won against Bama State.
Oh, I forgot UAPB lost. That's on me. Yeah, that's on me. I'll take that hit. Yeah, that's on me. Yeah, I'll take that hit. That's on me. I forgot
to make that adjustment right quick. We can hold.
I'm not about to do that.
Yeah, because Grambling don't deserve that. They beat Bama State this week.
Whatever. I mean, they lost last week, so.
In this house, there's some whores in this house. There's some.
And listen, and everybody else deserves to be on. I missed about one team. Whoop-dee-doo. Okay, whoop-dee-doo. Okay, it's not like the whole list is jacked up. It's just one team. And
out of respect to Grambling, they beat Bama State. UAPB didn't got blew out 2 consecutive weeks. I mean, that's the epitome of getting ran through. You got to make this list when you
if people would stop stealing their playbook.
That's what UAPB ain't said that yet.
Maybe if people stop stealing their playbook, they wouldn't be getting ran through. That's all I'm gonna say.
If Bethune-Cookman beats Texas Southern, what happens?
They go to 5.
And UAPB lose
4. They go to 4.
What happens if Dale State beat Norfolk?
I'm still not. I wouldn't put Delaware State over UAPB. No, I wouldn't do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this consensus A and T
in Valley.
They just wanted to. They running that all the way through the season.
And they ain't even won a Division I game. That's a D2 against Winston-Salem.
In this house, there's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this.
Them niggas is ass. A&T is so bad, man. God, dog. You talking about trash, and then A&T were gonna call and talk about so. You still think we ain't gonna win 3 games? Hell yeah, y'all not gonna win 3 games. Who y'all gonna beat?
Because the black school's over with. They ain't no more of them on the schedule for you. So what you gonna do? And then, he's saying rebuilding, but I'm looking at you against the competition in that conference, man, and it's tough on them, dude. It really is. And I
Hampton getting better. Everybody getting better but you.
Hampton is getting better. I like Hampton actually getting better than the way that they look. A&T, I mean, you getting smashed. I'm talking about raw dog. Yeah. Some of these schools use protection, like Bethune. This dude, man. He can't say certain stuff to this dude. I ain't what. God, dog. This dude, y'all, is crazy, man. Let it go, Scott. Hey. Jesus Christ.
Something is wrong with you. Go ahead.
Hey, sometimes with them jump offs, you got that one who just risky. Hey. Like, boy, you ain't wrap it up. I just jumped in there and got in where he fit in. But yeah, ain't no protection being used for A&T and Valley. I swear you can get it however you want to get it. Bethune, at least, like, hey, you got that? You got one on you? Because I'm not going to let you do nothing if you don't put it on. But Valley, like, hey, that V, turn that V the other way, them legs wide open on that V. It just come on in here. Look at that A with that T going in the middle of it. You just both them. Hey, you can have whatever you like with them.
Oh,
Jesus. Yeah. Better watch yourself with these jump offs. You better watch yourself.
Oh my gosh. Something is so wrong with you. Today you just come over there. Hey, you got that thing on you? Oh man. That is funny. That was funny. Jesus Christ.
In this house, there's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. There's some.
All right. The HBCU top 5. Perry, break it down to him.
HBCU top 5 power ranking. We are rocking and rolling and coming out of last week, of course. A poll was not out, but there was some things that changed. I had Bama State actually in my top 5 last week, in which we didn't get a chance to do. But of course, they fell out losing to Grambling, and now we're coming into this week. Southern University right there at the number 5 spot. 5 overtime thriller against Bethune-Cookman this past weekend. They're one step closer to etching in stone a SWAC Western Division title under Coach Terrence Graves. 5-1, 6-4 overall. 3 overtimes so far this year against Prairie View, Texas Southern, now Bethune-Cookman. They had to dig deep into the quarterback room, but nonetheless, they continue to find ways to win. And they're at the top of the leaderboard in the SWAC West. And so right now, with what they've been doing, Southern is my number 5 team. Coming in at the number 4 spot is going to be Tennessee State. I like where they at right now in the Ohio Valley Conference. 4-2 with a loss to Tennessee Tech as well as UT Martin. 7-3 overall on the season. They playing some good football. They got a game this weekend against Gardner-Webb, but nonetheless, Tennessee State is a team that I think
is to watch for. They are a top 5 HBCU football team, and at 7-3 and 4-2, they're still right there knocking on the door as a contender in the Ohio Valley Conference. May not win it, but they are one of the top teams. Number 3, North Carolina Central. Of course, after that loss to South Carolina State, they had to drop from the number 1 spot, but I didn't drop them too far. I put them at the number 3 spot. I think they are still one of the top teams in black college football, hands down, no doubt about it. And when you look at them at 2-1, 6-3, they're going to most likely end up right there behind South Carolina State. And I'm curious to see if North Carolina Central at this point, if they can close it out, will get that bid, at large bid into the FCS playoffs like they did last year. Then at the number 2 spot, South Carolina State. Hey, Bulldogs, you got it done. You did the unthinkable. You beat the team that nobody thought you were going to be able to do this year because it's year 1 with your head coach, Chennis Berry. And the Bulldogs are now 3-0 in the MEAC, 7-2 overall. I like them. I think they are the second best team in the country. And then I'm going to go with Jackson State, the number 1 team, getting a big victory at home last week against Mississippi Valley, the week before against UAPB. They have been dominating, even though they're lower tier teams. Nonetheless, they know how to dominate and take away the game completely from the opponent. And they have done that, which is why you see that 6-0 record, 8-2 on the season. Only 2 losses is to UL Monroe to start the season and to Grambling. So I like this top 5 matchup. Number 5, Southern University. Number 4, Tennessee State. Number 3, North Carolina Central. Number 2, South Carolina State. And right now, the best team in black college football, just because of the dominating way that they've won and the way that they look, I'm going with the Tigers of Jackson State.
Oh, I forgot to put the 2 because they lost to Prairie View. Number 5 is FAMU. Number 4, Jackson. Number 3, Tennessee. Number 2, NCCU. Number 1, South Carolina State. Very simple for me. Not too difficult. Listen, man. There's no way, just in my personal opinion, that you can put Jackson State over NCCU and South Carolina State. It just don't make sense to me. That's just me personally.
That goes back to y'all arguing head to heads. FAMU beat South Carolina State. Did they not? Jackson State beat FAMU. Did they not? So when y'all argue with me up and down, when I put teams in certain weeks, where they at, y'all argument to me is about the head to head. So all I'm looking at is the trickle down. FAMU did beat South Carolina State. Jackson did beat FAMU. So if it came down to a head-to-head with Jackson State and South Carolina State at the top, Jackson undefeated. South Carolina State did lose to the team Jackson beat. That's why Jackson State number 1 on mine. I went by y'all logic with the head-to-head. I finally used y'all logic. So that's why I got Jackson at number 1. Plus, Jackson on the winning streak. They're rolling right now. South Carolina State, I give it to them. I like their non-conference. I like everything that they do. But to be at the number 2 spot, not that bad because they beat North Carolina Central. That's fine. Alabama State damn near beat North Carolina Central, didn't it? So it is what Morgan State had just gave North Carolina Central a tough game the week before.
Okay. And Alabama A&M gave Jackson State a tough game. I mean, like, what are we talking about?
Well, when you talked about it, you saw them score them points, but you wasn't giving A&M none of them trash time points.
That's how. If we're looking at the scores, that's how it looked.
Well, the thing about it, A&M still ain't played FAMU. I know Jackson played A&M and won. So then, if you're gonna throw A&M,
and then they lost to Grambling.
Has not beaten FAMU,
and they lost to Grambling, and Grambling's second to last in the division. I mean, what are we talking about? Even though I felt that Jackson State was a better team, but they lost to Grambling. Okay. Anyway, I mean, just me personally, like I said. Because that out of conference game is still a SWAC game. It didn't count for the conference, but it's still a SWAC game. They lost to a SWAC opponent, and they got mollywopped. How does that not count?
Well, the deciding factor for me, we can go through everybody's schedule, but literally for 1 and 2 between South Carolina State and Jackson, for me, the common factor right there was FAMU. I just looked at who beat FAMU. And for me, if that was going to be the difference between those 2 teams who lead the MEAC and the SWAC, I know South Carolina State lost to FAMU head up. Jackson State beat FAMU head up. That's why I bumped Jackson to number 1. nothing to take away from South Carolina State's victory over North Carolina Central, a hell of a victory.
So
that's why I made my decision.
Yeah, listen, for me, South Carolina State has the better schedule. At the time they played the number 1 team that everybody had consensus ranked. They won, right? Then they have better out of conference wins. I mean, to me, just if you're looking at the body of work, it's South Carolina State is not even close. Same thing with NCCU, right? Like the Elon game was bad, but Elon, I mean, if you take the Elon loss, it's like, okay, and you compare that with the Grambling loss, it's like, which team would you think was better to lose to? What was the better opponent? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
But Jackson State had to play conference games while these schools, Jackson is 6-0 in conference. These schools literally into their second and third conference game.
Play has been good. You just said not too long ago the West is weak. You just said that.
But although I said the West is weak, didn't the West beat FAMU? Didn't the West beat Bama
It doesn't take away you saying that the West is weak, and everybody can tell the SWAC is bad.
But did you just not hear when I said congratulations to the SWAC West going 3-1 against the SWAC East?
It doesn't take away that you said the West is weak. It doesn't take away that SWAC play has been bad. There's only been 2 or 3 decent caliber teams this whole year. No matter how much you want to talk about the MEAC doesn't play games until November or after Thanksgiving or after Halloween, it does not take away that their out of conference schedules are really good, because they have to be, because it doesn't matter. What looks worse is a South Carolina State team, because let's go back.
South Carolina State with that tough out of conference schedule still lost to FAMU.
Let's go back. Let's go back to South Carolina State going to the Celebration Bowl with Buddy Pugh, and they lost every out of conference game, and they ran the table in the MEAC and ended up going to the Celebration Bowl and beating the Jackson State team. So at the end of the day, you gotta take something with the good or the bad, or like you gotta take it, because it's like they could have lost everything and they wouldn't even be ranked. If they would have lost every game out of conference, they would not even be close to being ranked. Even if they beat NCCU, they wouldn't be ranked, because you're like, damn, you've been losing all these other games. The MEAC literally is down to 2.5 teams, which is NCCU, South Carolina State, and Morgan State when they decide they want to play. So you can't even realistically give a full evaluation off just MEAC play alone, because it's only going to be 1 or 2 games that actually mean something. So for South Carolina State, for NCCU, those out-of-conference games mean just a tad bit more than an out-of-conference game for SWAC, because they play so many conference games. So for me, them beating Tennessee Tech, them beating the Citadel, right? Losing to FAMU, like, you got to take all that in consideration. And to me, when I compare, if I go schedule for schedule, if I gave Jackson State their schedule, I don't believe they come out the same way. So I have to give them, in my personal opinion, I just give them kudos for what they've done and for who they played. And NCCU, you know, we put them number 1 because they're the championship team, so we get that. But they did a good job, and they ran up against the juggernaut of South Carolina State, and they got beat. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is.
FAMU lost to Jackson. They beat South Carolina State. That was my thing. So I'm like, all right, Jackson, you get the reward. Since Scotty say FAMU is the better team, Scotty said FAMU is this great team, so I can't diminish FAMU's value all of a sudden. If Scotty say FAMU is the better team, in some type of way, Jackson beat the better team, and South Carolina State lost to that team, that's why Jackson State number 1. But it's okay to be number 2, South Carolina State. 1 versus 2, it looked like that might be for the Celebration Bowl, so it is what it is. I mean, I just think Jackson State, where they at right now, I would have them over North Carolina Central and Tennessee State right now, just because of the way that they're playing. I get the opponents, I get the scheduling, but hey, I can only play what's on my schedule. I can do the what if, shoulda, coulda, wouldas all day, but when you clear out your schedule and you win the way that you win, that's all I can do is go by it from that. Who's to say them other teams will do good with the schedule? We don't know. We don't know. Because did you see Bama? You didn't see FAMU losing the PV, regardless if Richardson in the game or out the game.
It's
We
still
didn't see Bama State losing to Grambling with all the turmoil and the issues offensively that's going on. We didn't see that coming.
in the hole. Everybody says we'll go down the hole because nobody saw Jack State losing to Grambling. They got put 45 on. So what are we talking about?
I'm just saying it be
I'm
games
just
that we
saying.
don't see coming that it
Like
happens.
the Grambling game that they got put 45 on. Like, what are we talking about?
Well, Grambling just beat Bama State then. So
That's
that's
what
two
I'm saying.
teams.
So the whole matters. So it's not like you can't just say, oh man, that
Well,
just
I'm not knocking Grambling's home field advantage. I get that it's the same way like people give FAMU their home field advantage. I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying for everybody, when I looked at South Carolina State and Jackson State, to me, who I think are the two best teams in Black college football, the deciding factor for 1 and 2 was FAMU. I put the respect that you said on FAMU being this better team. If the better team lost to Jackson, well, then I gave it to Jackson since FAMU obviously beat South Carolina State. That's why my 1 and 2. That's why Jackson won. I know you don't want to see them up there. Hey, I'm a Southern fan. I don't want to see.
It's not that I don't
It
want to
is
see
what
them
it
up
is.
there. It's not that I don't want to see them up there. I just don't think they're the number one team based off what they've played. That's all I'm saying. The SWAC is bad. They've had a easy ass schedule, and the one fluky loss they call was to a team that's second in. They're the second worst team in the West, and you got 45 put up on you. But that's supposed to be fluky.
FAMU beat South Carolina State and just lost to Prairie View. Is that not fluky? Bama State came back and damn near pulled it off against North Carolina Central. And then when it lost to Grambling, it's like, who the heck? Is that not fluky? Then you just got Southern right here who then lost to Jackson and FAMU and beating the teams that everybody said that was supposed to beat them. Is that not fluky?
No,
I'm just saying, it's the SWAC.
I mean, the Texas Southern game was fluky. That was hella fluky. Yeah, that was hella fluky.
That's what I'm saying. The PV game was fluky. Blocking the field goal. I mean, this past weekend with Bethune-Cookman, even the Alcorn game was fluky up into the it happens. I mean, hey, it's gonna all this gonna even itself out. We can do this until until the sun come up. It's gonna even itself out. That's obviously what it's been doing since week 1. Look where we at right now. Regardless, I think it's how everybody feel, but it's gonna even itself out.
Let me ask you this, and I'm jumping the gun. If South Carolina State and Jack State meet up in the Celebration Bowl, and South Carolina State goes like 2-0, what is that with 2 different coaches, 2 different teams? What does that say about Jackson, or is it just like, hey, that's what happens?
I don't think it says anything particular to Jackson. I think it goes back to what you say about the SWAC.
Okay, that's
fair.
fair.
It ain't just been Jackson.
That's fair.
It was Alcorn. Grambling lost 1 year too.
Yeah, that's fair.
And Grambling came back and won against North Carolina Central. So I just think it's the SWAC. The SWAC, if you look at the head-to-head, whether it's the MEAC SWAC Challenge or if it's the Celebration Bowl, it has just been the SWAC that has seemed to be dealing with the touch. And let me say something. As much as people not going to probably like what I'm going to say, the way Southern is built right now with the lack of offense, but more defensively sound, Southern reminds me more built like a MEAC team. Those MEAC teams, you're seeing MEAC because of which Central and South Carolina State right now. But let's go back to those Buddy Pugh South Carolina State teams. Barely can name me any offensive player on those teams, but those defenses were nice. The way the MEAC has been built traditionally has been lack of offense, built in the trenches, and tough defenses. And I'm not saying that puts Southern on the pedestal, but I'm just saying how you have seen Southern struggle offensively, but defense still finds the way to win games. Those chippy games back and forth, that's MEAC football. That's the MEAC football that I can remember. It's growing because you see the offensive now getting the explosion. These offensive guys like Eric Phoenix at South Carolina State, Elijah Walker Harris.
Walker Harris.
Walker Harris. You're starting to see guys like that stuff, but that MEAC was built in the trenches and off of defense. So, to me, that's just what I'm seeing. Those ugly games, don't expect offense.
but just it's basically what Morgan State is doing right now. It's what Bama State is doing right now. It's what Southern is doing right now.
Yeah,
That's that traditional old school football.
I wouldn't throw Southern in there per se. I think teams that are built like MEAC teams would be Bama and Jackson because of the run first mentality in the defense that is built off of it. I think you guys. I mean, yeah, I guess you could say that. Yeah, I mean, because you guys are a run first team, and your defense. I say your defense is getting better week by week.
That's what's been winning the games for Southern.
Yeah,
Making those stops in those overtimes. That's making that stop against Alcorn. It's been Southern's defense saving the day for Southern in all of those wins.
I hate. Okay, I know. I'm gonna just say this. And I'm gonna get off the topic. I think the difference this year is I think any team from the SWAC goes to the Celebration Bowl. Nobody's quarterback is better than Eric Phoenix. That's the difference. That's the difference in the whole situation. I think I still think South Carolina State edges a lot of teams in just being balanced and being able to do a lot of different things, but nobody's quarterback is Eric Phoenix. And I'm not saying that Eric Phoenix is going to be the difference maker, because I remember seeing Shador against the dude from South Carolina State. I cannot remember that kid's name right now. It blanks me, but he was not good all year. Like, he was really up and down, and then in the Celebration Bowl, he just went absolutely stupid. And Shaq,
who are you talking about?
The quarterback from South Carolina State who won the Celebration Bowl.
What's his name? Cleo something Cleo?
Corey Fields. Thank you.
Corey Fields.
Corey Fields. You know what I'm saying? So Corey Fields was, he was up and down all season. And he just had a great game in the Celebration Bowl and went dumb, him and Shaq. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm not saying that, having the best quarterback would definitely give you the win. But in just that case, he's that guy. Like, Eric Phoenix is that guy in that situation. So, but, if it comes down to quarterback play, South Carolina State got, and on top of that, he's been in championship games. You know what I'm saying? Like, nothing as big as a Celebration Bowl, but he's been in playoff games. He's been in championship games. So that's just my little 2 cents on that. So be a good game regardless. All right, game of the week. All right. First game of the week. Listen, I know a lot of you Bammers are like, oh, Scotty, how is this the game of the week? Listen, this is one of those throw. Now, I think NCCU is the better team, but this is one of those throw the records out the window type of games, because there is bad blood here. Okay? There's bad blood here. NCCU put 40 on Howard. Then the next year, Howard puts 40 on NCCU. And now Howard has to go to the nest. NCCU is playing out of his gosh darn mind. If you don't think NCCU is going to put 50 on these Bammers, they going to put 50 on Howard. But I want to see it. That's why it's the game of the week for me. NCCU by 50. 50 piece. What you got, P?
I mean, I like Trey Oliver. Look, I think he's one of the best coaches in black college football. On the other side, I think everything with Howard starts and ends on offensively with Scroggins.
Oh, God.
That's all they have. You shut him down. I mean, Hunter has been quiet. Who I like to see more of is Casey Hawthorne. I want to see how can they use him, because he's a utility player from out of the backfield, just sweeps, just being a receiver. However you want to use him, even maybe some wildcat. He is that type of guy where you got to find ways to get him as a playmaker the ball along with Hunter. But on the other side, you're looking at Walker Harris, who's passed for over 1,500 yards so far this season. Jamari Taylor, who is one of the best backs in the country, no matter what. If you say HBCU or FCS, he has 11 touchdowns with 162 yards on the season. And then you look at Howard right now. They lost to South Carolina State 38-14. You look back, they got a victory 38-0 over Delaware State. They lost by a point against Norfolk, and then they lost 27-14 against Tennessee State. This just does not seem to be the juiced up Howard team of last year, but I'm with you, Scotty. Throw the records out, but North Carolina Central remembers this
because this is what kept them out of the Celebration Bowl last year. And this is what got Howard into the Celebration Bowl. And outside of that 24-21 loss for North Carolina Central, they was rolling up until that point. 16-7 victory over Morgan, a 45-14 victory over Campbell, and a 37-10 victory over Norfolk State. I'm going Trey Oliver. I think Trey Oliver and this North Carolina Central Eagles team look back last year and say, Howard stole our thunder, forced us into the FCS playoffs. This was ours to give. North Carolina Central was number one on our list all of last year. It just looked like they were headed on a collision course with FAMU, and Howard said, hold on, not so fast, my friend, and got snuck themselves into the championship while North Carolina Central had to sit back and watch. So I think Trey Oliver and his team remembers that. That's going to be the bulletin board material. Let's not let them get off track, because North Carolina Central, although it may not be the Celebration Bowl, there's still postseason play to play for, and that's going to be the FCS playoffs. And I think you got to go ahead and go and put them out, knock them out quick, fast, in a hurry, especially at home against Howard. So I'm going North Carolina Central.
Yeah, listen, this I like get back games. I've always been a fan of get back games. Got to be a fan of the get back game. All right, next game of the week.
I can see some that you ain't SWAC type of handshake at the end of that game, like, you know, because I can imagine Central, if they get up, they're gonna run the score up.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Because I was at that Howard game last year. Howard made a mention, and mute your thing for me, Pete, because it's echoing back at me. Thank you, sir. I was at the game, and Howard made it its mission to put 40 on NCCU. They went out and did that. Hey, that was their goal. That was their mindset. They wanted to make it happen. So that's what it was. That's just what it was. And I think NCCU is gonna pay it back full force. Like, hey, listen, we're not gonna run the score up, but we're gonna run the score up, if you get what I'm saying. So yeah. All right. Game of the week, Powell State, Bama State. Listen, I know this game would have meant just a tad bit more if Bama State would have pulled the game up, but I still think styles make fights, and this is a great style. It's like two heavy hitters. Who's going to bend? You got Powell State's run. You got Alabama State's defense. Who's going to give, right? Great game at Alabama State. It is a home game for Alabama State. I wouldn't be surprised if people came in full force. I'm gonna have to go with Powell State with this one. Oh shoot, I was supposed to pick it for Mike. My bad. Well, I might change my pick. But go ahead, Pete.
I'm a little surprised that you're going with Jackson State, but I guess, you know, hey, it is what it is. I like this matchup. Like you said, had Bama State gotten past Grambling last week, this sets up on a potential like playoff field to a SWAC East Division title, because it definitely would have kept Bama State hopes alive. But Bama State with now 2 conference losses, it kind of puts them in the back seat now. And it basically puts Jackson State in the front seat. Jackson has not clinched the East yet, but a victory this weekend against Bama State would solely give them the East Division title. When you look at this game, Jacoby Morgan, who's passed for a little over 1,600 yards on the season with 15 touchdowns and 5 interceptions right now. Then you look at Mulligan, who's knocking at the door. By the time this game is done, Mulligan could be a 1,000-yard rush on the season. Right now, he's already at 890 yards with 8 touchdowns. And then Fortillion, who was quiet in this last one, didn't need him much because of what Jackson was able to do on the ground. He's knocking at the door being a 500-yard receiver and 7 touchdowns. Haas Clark on the other side is going to probably be who Alabama State is going to lean on the rushing side. He has not been able to find the end zone much with only 1 touchdown, but he has 472 yards on the season. Aside from that Grambling loss, Alabama State beat Alcorn 21-17. They beat Alabama A&M 27-19, and they beat Valley 54-17. Aside from that homecoming loss to FAMU 28-13 back on October 5th. And then you look at Jackson State, they've just been rolling in their last 5 games. And it has been convincingly 45-38, in which a late comeback for A&M in that one. 35-21, in which a fourth quarter stands for that defense against FAMU. 37-17 against Bethune-Cookman, in which in the second half, they really stepped up and woke up. And then the past 2 weeks, 41-3 over Pine Bluff and 51-14 over Valley. I like Jackson State going on the road. I think Jackson State with the run game, with that depth, I think they can dig into that Alabama State defense and wear them down. I think it may be a little closer than normal from what Jackson State has seen in the past couple games, but I'm going Jackson State in this one. I like the running game and the running back room with them, and I think Jacoby and Morgan, when it matters, can make the throws, but I think they're going to rely heavy on the run game, and they're going to lean on it, especially against this Alabama State defense, to try to wear them out and thin them out as the game goes on.
I would. What's so frustrating to me is I just wish I could see some more creativity from Alabama State. And what I mean creativity wise, these coaches got to start watching some Power 5 football. They just have to. Like, of just the setup, because Alabama State has some go-getters. Like DeQuincy, some of the receivers can really fly, can really stretch the field. The issue is Key doesn't have the strongest arm, so you don't want to put him in too many situations where he's trying to throw bombs over Baghdad or people's heads, right? But I think with the creativity, if there was an added level of creativity in the offense, you could see this game be more competitive than what was realized. And I think for this game to be competitive, Bama State's defense is going to really have to be all world and some. They're going to really have to make it difficult. Short fields, like long punts, trying to keep short fields for Alabama State, because I heard something that Alcorn's coach said, Cedric Thomas, when he lost to Alabama State. He said, we were not worried about the field position game because their offense we weren't worried about their offense. And that just shows me how dumb some of these coaches are in the SWAC. If you give a team a short field, and Alabama State isn't a slouch. Is their offense high powered? By no means. But if you have them start at the 45 and they only got to get 30 yards to get into field goal range, why would you do that? Like that's the type of idiotic stuff you hear coaches say. On his coach, he had a little Cedric Thomas show. He literally said, we didn't care about the field position battle because we weren't worried about their offense. Why make it easier for the team? Why? Right? So for me, Alabama State's defense is going to have to make short fields for their offense to make this game. You don't want to see Alabama State consistently have to start from their 30 or their 25 to try to score, because I don't think they can sustain offenses long enough to do so. But if you give them short fields and you allow them to run the ball with DeQuincy in the background and the other kid they got who's pretty darn good, it could be a game. It could be a game.
And you know what I like about this? If Jackson's defense can hold up Alabama State's offense, Jackson State got a dangerous return man. Number 0.
Yeah.
He can take that thing to the crib at any given time. And so that's another thing. I think Jackson can score points out of the box, basically, where you used to seeing the offense. I think Jackson's defense is good enough to score points in this one, cause a fumble. I think Jackson's special teams, Jackson kicker, man, is one hell of a kicker. No matter where they get on the field, that kid can kick a field goal. And along with the return game, I just think Jackson has plenty of ways that they can put points up and not have to rely on a certain type of way that Bama State's going to have to rely on. And I think that's, for me, why I like Jackson in this one. They can hit you from multiple different ways. Defense can score. They can run the ball. They can throw it, and special teams at any given time can wake up the crowd and get them into the end zone.
Yep, it's gonna be a tough one. All right, call lines are open. I'm only keeping them open for 15 minutes. I gotta get some to eat. I haven't ate, so 15 minutes.
There is one other participant in the conference.
Of course, A&T Roy will be the first caller. What's up, One Win?
Scotty?
What's up, Mr. One Win?
Hey, man, listen. I'm tired of this slander what we're getting from y'all every week.
What slander? You guys have made your own bed and you're laying in it like you suck. What do you want? How else do you want us to describe it? You suck.
Hey, listen. I get it, but I'm just saying I'm tired of it. That's all. So
then win.
All right, let me
then win.
Huh?
Win.
Yeah. I'm not gonna ask you that question. I've been asking you every week. I'm gonna hold out until we start doing it. Then I'm gonna drag you like it's nobody's business.
No. Keep that same energy. Scotty, you don't think we're going to win 3 games? What happened to all that?
Well, I'm just saying I'm not going to ask you anymore. I understand that where you are. You just don't understand what's going on here.
No, I understand that you suck. Like, I mean, what, am I missing something? Did I not get the memo?
No. We do suck. I'm just tired of the slander. That's all. I'm tired of y'all doing this every week.
Okay, Auntie, well, let me just ask you this. And then maybe Perry might have something to say. Maybe he don't. I don't know. How is it slander when you really suck? Like, I could get Paho State feeling some type of way, saying, oh, Scotty talks bad about us, but we win it. That's slander, right? Like, slander and defamation, that's like you're lying on me. Like, you're saying things that are not true. We are saying that you're ass. Your record says you're ass, and you haven't beat a Division I opponent all season, and you couldn't even beat the Blacks. So again, Roy, I ask you, how is it slander?
I don't know. Maybe we need another word. But here's another thing. Oh man, I forgot what it was. So whatever, it could be another word, whatever you want to call it. I'm just talking. I'm tired of the bad talk.
Listen, go on your Blue Death Valley podcast and big up A&T as much as you want. You know what I'm saying? Talk highly about them and, talk about how your coaches, he got a plan. He got an 8-year plan that's going to take him 8 years to get y'all right. And that's what you got your own podcast for. But over here in the real world, y'all Bama suck.
All right, I got 2 more things. Hey Perry, man, listen. How y'all drop from number 2 in the band ranking?
Man, ESPN don't know bands, so I'm not gonna. The fact they got A&T the number 1 band should let everybody know that they don't know damn bands. I mean, for real. So that.
Well, we basically have punched our ticket to Atlanta. We're gonna see who comes in second to try to take our throne.
If that's what you banking on, brother, then I mean, I guess I'll see you in Atlanta. I mean, if that's the way y'all gonna get there, but clearly y'all didn't draw nobody. Didn't nobody come to see A&T in that empty stadium last year, with y'all being number 1, and y'all was supposed to. I thought y'all was the big draw. What was the fans? What was all these people who love A&T? I didn't see it in the stands.
Well, it was the first year, and people aren't on the band thing yet. So we'll see how it goes this year. But hey, listen, we still gonna win it. Hey, the other thing, Scotty, I got for you. Hey, man, listen, don't be poo-pooing me and us talking good about our women's athletics, especially our volleyball. Don't do that, man. Have some respect for the women.
No. See, I see you part of that Me Too movement, ain't you? Right? Because that's not how I played it. How I played it was your football is so bad that you had to pivot to talking about volleyball and all the other sports that don't equate to football. That's all I said. You know what I'm saying? That you guys, your football team is so bad that you like, hey, we'll go check out that volleyball team. We out here doing work.
Scotty, the football team so bad, it got him asking me about band.
Thank you.
That's how bad they are. He wanted to ask me about the band. Like,
it's the only way to get into Atlanta.
Hey, man, just know this. We got multiple areas in our school that are doing great, and we can talk well about them whenever, however, wherever we want to.
That's what your podcast is for. But over here, A&T football sucks. Thank you. What are you talking about? They trash, man. Coach Green, coming to you.
I got one question, man.
Terrence Gray.
Question. Why you got all them excuses for PV? I mean for FAMU.
I don't have no excuses for PV.
I say FAMU.
No, you said PV.
Yeah, I know. I meant FAMU.
But you said PV.
I know what I said, but I'm just saying, why you got all them excuses for fam? Why
Well,
you don't just take the loss?
I can't not take the loss. I can't erase the L. What does that mean?
No, you're making excuses for them, talking about, well, our quarterback was hurt. What about the team?
Facts. Is that not facts?
So the rest of the team is just not good? That's what you're saying? The rest of the team not good without their quarterback?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So basically, fam, you really suck then.
I guess so. They suck bad enough to beat y'all.
Yeah, they did. But it happens like that. Hey.
Oh, now it happens like that. Oh, now it happens.
Yeah.
So for y'all,
Hey.
it just happens like that. For FAMU, we suck. Okay, I'm trying to get understanding.
No. You remember I took the L. I said, yeah,
you ain't have no choice. Why do people just say just take the L? Like the L does not go away because I'm giving you facts on the game. It doesn't go away.
So,
it doesn't go away.
So what? I'm just saying, why you not taking the L?
I have to.
But
it doesn't go away.
You're making excuses for why.
It's part of the game. That's not an excuse. It's part of the game. How is that an excuse? That's what happened.
Yeah, but you made all kinds of excuses why you lost. You didn't just say, yeah, we lost.
There's no taking away the loss. Everybody knows we lost. What are we talking about?
But you're blaming it for other reasons. You're making it out to be for other reasons.
That equated to the loss. Those were the reasons that equated to the loss.
I guess. I guess.
I mean, I guess too.
That's all I had for you, though.
Thank you for the call, Coach Green. I don't get what I don't get what approach y'all be trying to prove with me. Like it's part of it's what happened. Diallo from Ohio coming to you.
Scotty, what's going on, fam?
What's up, man?
Hey, Perry, what's going on, family? Listen, can y'all ban A&T Roy, man? Dude is horrible, man. He just call and be on these shows just trolling. I'm in North Carolina right now, North Carolina Central, and nobody takes A&T serious. Anytime you talking about something besides football during football season, that's all you need to know about that school and their program at that point in time. So the fact that he asking Perry about going to Atlanta for the band competition and telling you, you know what I'm saying, he trying to me too movement you with the volleyball team. Like, dude, I'm glad y'all got a good volleyball team. I'm glad y'all band is predicted to do well, which we all know they're not really that good. They're not the Sonic Boom or the Jukebox or any of these other great bands. Like, this dude is horrible. But let's get to some football. Now, Scotty, I got to give you some pushback, right? You know, I promise you, Craig, we're not going to do this like what we did 2 weeks ago. However, FAMU, like Jackson State, has made their mark with grabbing guys from Power 5 schools and having an abundance of talent on their roster. So even though Richardson went down, there's no way possible they still should lose this game to PV. Now, if it's Jackson State, hell, even if it's Southern, an opponent that's formidable, I'll give you that. But to lose the way they lost, and the game was 10-0 when he got hurt, by the way, too. So it's not like they were up and then they blew a big lead when he got hurt. That they was losing the game when he was in the game. They had no points when he got hurt. I feel like their defense should have been able to get stops and not give PV 31 points. Like, that's crazy. Like, they held Jackson State to less points than that until they got the 2 turnovers at the end of the game, but they gave PV 31. So talk to me about how this defense gave up 31 points. This, you know what I'm saying? And the defense should know, with our quarterback going down, we got to take over this game. We got to make some plays. We got to lift up this backup QB. But talk to me about that.
Well, one of the touchdowns came from a pick six. That wasn't on the defense. So you can take that 7 away. That gives you 24. And then you talk about 2 turnovers that gave them short fields. I mean, one turnover gave them a short field. The other one just, kind of get back and just have to make a stop. So, I mean, you can, I would say, 21 legit was on the defense. 21 legitly was on the defense. But 10 of it, it just, that's how the cookie crumbles, right? The pick six was just It was atrocious. Oh God, it was so bad. I mean, he was on the right hash trying to throw a speed out to the far left hash, and PV was squatting on everything because the backup was in, and it picked six. Now, let me say this: I'm never opposed. I'm not opposed to them being down because FAMU has been down multiple times in the season and have come back and won games with Daniel Richardson. So them being down it's not an issue to me. It's never been an issue to me with Daniel Richardson because they've always been 9 times out of 10 they've been able to pull it out with Daniel Richardson. The one game that really shocked me was the Jackson State game. He had the ball last minute, the fumble happens and everything like that. So I wasn't really worried about the 10-0 lead because I'm like, all right, whatever. Daniel Richardson going to do what Daniel Richardson does. But when you don't have Daniel Richardson, it just makes the game different. That's just facts.
This is I gotta give you some pushback, Scotty. This is PV. This is not JSU. As I said, they still should find a way to win that game. And to counter those excuses you just gave me, because those was excuses. JSU gave up a pick six and a scooper score versus Grambling, and they had 4 or 5 turnovers, and they lost that game. So that's a part of the game. It's the game is 3 phases: defense, offense, and special
okay,
teams.
hold on, talking about D. That's the wrong game to use against me because I said that Jackson State was still the better team in that game. So that's the wrong.
No, I'm not talking about whether you feel like they're a better team or not. What I'm saying is they gave up scoring opportunities that wasn't against their defense, and they still had to hold that L. That's all I'm saying.
No, but
I understand that they gave up a pick six.
You asked me how many points. You asked me how did the points come about, and I told you 10 of that was on the quarterback himself, right? Just the pick six and the 3 points for the field goal or whatever, right? So no, I'm sorry. Take that 3 away. I'll give the pick six. The pick six is on the quarterback, and then the late touchdown that PV got or whatever. But my thing is this. You have to account for Daniel Richardson going down. That's just like the turnovers are part of the game.
You do. I'm not saying you don't. I agree with
Daniel
you on
Richardson. And the fact of the matter is, the guy that came in gave you 2 interceptions. Now, and I said this earlier, Daniel Richardson is going to throw you an interception. That's his MO.
He go get them TDs.
But he gonna get them TDs on the back end. That's just what he do. So the weighing of the scales, they don't balance out when your backup comes and throws 2 interceptions. When he doesn't have the ability to bring you back in the game, it hurts more, right? Because if you're a defensive player and you're like, and let's just keep it real. Let's just keep it a buck, right? With the Alabama State defense, they knew from once those 2 quarterbacks down that the season falls on them. They knew that. They know what it was. They know how they had to play. And they had to be great to keep their games close or even being able to win. So they've had that moniker since the second game of the season. All season, FAMU has lived and died with Daniel Richardson. And when that person goes down, that takes air out of a team. It just does. And you on the road. The only thing that saved FAMU is that this was not at home. Because if that would have happened at home, oh my God, Coach Cozy would probably be getting torched and pitchforked out of Tallahassee right now.
Hey, I want to switch gears, and I want to talk to Perry. And I know I'm a little early, but I just want your information and your insight. It's looking like we're about to have a Boombox Classic round 2. Just like we did a couple years ago when you guys played twice in 1 year. Give me a preview of what this Boombox Classic 2 is going to look like in Jackson. Because earlier in the year, it was, McCoy was the quarterback, and now TC is listening to the people and sticking with Morgan. Talk to me about what that game is going to look like, because I don't see any way that these 2 teams don't match up to play for the Celebration Bowl.
I think it looks like what you've been seeing, a well put together Jackson State team offensively that can run the ball, that if Jacoby Morgan has to move around and get it out of his hands, he can do it. I think Jackson State can beat you special teams. They can kick field goals. They can flip the field on you with the punting. And they have a sound defense that can force turnovers, in which it hurt our starting quarterback in that game, Xavier T. said, and we had to go back to Noah Bodden and try to figure things out. But I think in the second half, throwing the ball, you start to see Southern kind of expose some things and being able to move. Noah still ended the game with 300-plus passing yards against that Jackson defense. It was just too much of a hole and too many missed opportunities early on, even a potential pick six that was dropped. I think for Southern, it's still a lot to look at because Southern still doesn't have the quarterback situation together. Southern is just straight up, you know what they're going to do. They want to run the ball, and that's what they're going to do. They're going to line up and run the ball, and they're going to hope that the defense can stop, make some adjustments, and force turnovers. But nonetheless, Southern has lived and died by with its defense, and that's why you see the close games that there are and that they have been. Joshua Griffin, who's the kicker for Southern, has done a pretty decent job being able to find ways to get the ball through the goalpost. But I think when you look at that matchup, it's still quite early, but the identity of both teams is what it is. Jackson is a more well put together team of all three phases of the game. Southern offensively still struggles with passing the ball. They're going to want to be a physical team, and I think that's what makes Southern's defense as strong as what they are this year compared to last year with Eric Dooley. Southern that wanted to throw the ball all over the place was a finesse team. It makes your team soft when you don't run the ball and commit to the run, and Dooley didn't want to commit to the run. I think Southern committing to the run now has forced them to become back that physical team, and you're starting to see it defensively. When you got, imagine, you see Southern lining the ball up and running it 30 yards at a defense. Imagine what's happening at practice. That toughens you up. Iron sharpens iron, and that's Southern's defense. But I still think looking at Jackson, for me, they're the more complete, well put together team. Southern's just getting it done anyway, by any means necessary, and it's not pretty. But looking at that, Southern's still going to have struggles offensively and still going to rely on their defense. I don't think nothing changes from what you saw at the beginning of the year to where we at now to if Southern does wrap up and get the SWAC Western Division title. It does not change. Southern just still going to have to find a way to chip away in that game.
Hey, Dion, let me ask you a question.
Right.
Let me ask you a question before you go.
Yes.
I
got one for you, Squatty. I just got a quick take for you, but go ahead.
Okay. How different is Jackson State with McCoy instead of with Morgan?
It's funny because my question for you is going to be pertaining to quarterback play. A month ago, I would have told you they were light years better, but right now I would say they're not as better as I thought they would be because I'm starting to see a lot of deficiencies in Morgan's game.
Once again, so my point is this, right? Like if Jacobian goes down and McCoy has to go in the game, do you not think if they lose a game, do you not think that what's the first thing you'll hear them say?
We didn't have Jacobian.
We didn't have Jacobian. That's what they said with the Grambling game.
I wouldn't give them that out because again, like Perry has, and I've been saying it, they got the best punter and maybe in FCS, definitely in the SWAC. We don't get to see him punt as much. No, they have a G baby who hit a 50-yarder last week. Terrell is one of the most explosive guys in FCS returning the ball. So they have special teams. They have a good defense. They have a great running attack. So they have other ways they can manufacture a win outside of Morgan. But this is what I was going to say to you. I think I'm sure you didn't watch that JSU game Saturday because it was a blowout. But I found something that was very interesting. The JSU fans, I'm sure y'all saw it. Cam got in garbage time and lost like 30 yards on a play, and TC pulled him out and put in McDonald. McDonald had 2 series, and you can go look it up. McDonald threw a perfect ball for like a 30 or 40-yard touchdown, put it right in the breadbasket, and it was the best thrown ball by any Jackson State quarterback all season. So I'm thinking moving forward, if I'm TC, Zion McDonald moved up the depth chart to my number 2 backup. If something happens, I feel more happy with him leading my team than McCoy. But did you see that touchdown, and did you see what happened in that exchange?
I'm not watching no Jackson versus Valley game. That ain't even worth my time. That is not worth my time. Unless that game was close.
Especially after last week.
Come on, man. I'm not watching that. Anyway, my thing is this. Like, but again, my point is what you're making. If that game was closer and they were playing against a real opponent and Jacobian goes down and McCoy does that, and that affected the game, however, interception, fumble, whatever, what is the first thing people are going to say?
But is PV a real opponent, though? We got, and that's what I said.
Okay, stop.
Jackson State or one of the better teams?
No, stop. That's no. Grambling makes my point. Grambling makes my point. Grambling is not as good. Who's better, Grambling or PV?
I think they both bad. I can't say who's
okay.
better.
So they both. So both teams have put belt to ass, as people would love to say. Both teams have put belt to ass to one of the top 2 teams in the East. And what did Jackson State and what did Jackson State people say when they lost that game? If Jacoby and Morgan would have started the whole game, we win. That's what they say.
No, I didn't give them.
It's not about giving them the out, D. It's what was said. That's what I'm giving.
Yeah. Fans are dumb though, Scotty. People that know football like me, you, and Perry and others, we not gonna give teams that out. Fans are gonna say stupid stuff.
Listen,
but all I'm saying is FAMU with the eye test and on paper are a much better team than PV, even without Richardson. I'm just saying if you're that good and you have that amount of talent amassed on your team, you got to find a way to beat PV. We're not asking you to beat Jackson. We're not asking you to beat Southern or even Alabama State for that matter. But PV, that's just like if Jackson State would have lost to Valley, which is a fair comparison because Valley should have beat PV last week. You know what I mean? So you got to beat horrible teams, even if you got backups with the amount of talent these teams have amassed, which is FAMU.
Listen, I get what you're saying, but at the end of the day, the reasoning for what people are going to say is because of the situation their team was in. It's different if you beat a team at full strength and you just say, hey, man, like UAPB in Prairie View, right? Like PV had a full squad. They was coming in. UAPB had their squad. They just lost straight up.
Right.
But when you go into a situation and you don't like your starter or your starter goes down, they got the backup in it's at the end of the day, it's a reasoning, and that's what's going to be used. And for me, the way FAMU has lived and died with Daniel Richardson playing hero ball, it was bound to happen if he couldn't finish the game. Because that's how they do. We've been saying they can't even run the ball. Like, why are you even trying to run the ball? Like, it's gotten that bad.
They have one rushing touchdown all year.
Come on,
and Scotty, let's just stick with your logic right there. Even if he finishes this game, they still can lose, right? Because they've been living with him and squeaking by these games, the Norfolks and these other early season games that they won. So this could have potentially happened with him in there. By the way, they've been winning games and losing games.
I wouldn't. At no point was I ever worried until he went down. That's just. But think about that. See this. I think people negate the fact of what a player for a team can do, right? Like, I'll give you a perfect example. When Shador went down against the A&M team when they played at the Mobile City Classic, that game looked different. It looked different, complete. Like I was at the game. The mood in the stadium was different. The way the game was flowing was different. A&M got confidence. Jackson State did, and then Shador comes back and finishes out the game, and then boom, everybody happy, right? Like some players just have that effect on their team because they're that important to their team, right? Good example, Ladarius Skelton for Southern. When he's in the game, they just have a juice about them because of what they know he can do. But when you take a player like that out, you're like we got a guy, but he not like this guy. He can't do it like this guy can do it, right? And that's what it comes down to in certain situations where a player is that important to a team. Now, do you want your team to be balanced? Absolutely. Absolutely. Everybody wants a team to be balanced. But when you can't ask FAMU to turn the switch and be something they're not, when they haven't been that all season, D, you got a backup quarterback. I can't just turn around and hand the ball off. We ain't run the ball all good. We haven't ran the ball good all season.
That's a fact. I just feel like you got, with all that talent you amass, you got to have a QB.
I'll tell you this. D, I'll tell you this. If FAMU was even a decent running attack, I wouldn't allow no excuses. I would give you that. If FAMU had a decent running, I mean, like literally, give me 8 rushing touchdowns for a season, right? I would have been like, you know what? They should have been able to maintain that game. Okay, I'll give you a perfect example. Perry, Andrew Body Texas Southern versus A&M. When they're up 2 touchdowns, Andrew goes down. Texas Southern act like they don't know how to play football on both sides of the ball. It happens, and they were the better team. It happens when your star guy who's done everything for you goes down. Your team just loses that air sometimes. It's just like, damn, really? This is how it's going to happen? This is how we going to lose a game? I'm telling you, the only thing that saved FAMU is that this game was not at Bragg. If this game was at Bragg, it would have been a sheer riot. That's it.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
That's all I'm saying.
Hey, man, good show, man. I love y'all brothers, man. Keep up the good work, man.
Appreciate it, D. Let me, Barry, I mean, listen, am I a homer? Absolutely. I'm rocking with FAMU this season. But I'm giving you instances that we've seen over time that a special player can affect the outcome of a game if that guy goes down. It happens in football all the time. Now, if you have a great team, a lot of great teams can counteract that because they're like, hey, you know, we good, we this. If I'll say this, if that team isn't led by the guy going down, right? Like if the quarterback goes down and he ain't never been the guy, then yeah, your team can kind of bounce back because other people on that team have been the guy. Like maybe the running back, maybe the wide receiver, maybe the defense is that guy, right? But when your guy is your quarterback and he goes down, there is an air that goes out of that room.
I think why you're catching it the way that you're catching it is because you literally said FAMU was the better team against Jackson State. And it seems right now, Jackson State, whether Jacoby and Morgan was in or not, that if none else failed, they can rely on the run game. They can score points off of special teams. They got a hell of a field goal kicker. You know, I think that's why you're catching, because it seems without Daniel Richardson, how good is FAMU? But without Jacoby and Morgan, Jackson State can run the ball.
Jacoby and Morgan isn't the guy on that team. Irv Mulligan is the guy on that team. If Irv Mulligan, and listen, if Irv Mulligan goes down, I'm not saying Terrell can't manage the load, but he's not the same energy factor. He's not the same game changer. And listen, I love Terrell. I love Terrell. But I can't see Terrell getting the ball 20 to 25 times a game. He's just not built like that. So you got to find different ways of getting him the ball. Irv is that battering ram that's just like, hey, you going to get this all day long. That just, you can say whatever you want. Jacoby and Morgan, they can call him the general. He's not the leader of that team. It is Irv. Irv Mulligan is the heart of Jackson State. He just is. He is. And they got backs that are good enough to manage the load, but they're not. I like Terrell because of his ability of his boom bop, but Irv is the heart of that team. It's just different.
And I think that's the conversation people are having with you, that whether it's Irv, whether it's Jacoby, and whether it's Fertillion, Jackson still as a team got other weapons, got other players that could probably get it done for them. It seems like FAMU, without Richardson, that is literally it. Like, who else? They're going to have to run a Wildcat with Gassett. I mean, like, they can't run the ball already. So I think that's just where where the conversation is getting caught up. People have not forgotten that even when Jackson did beat FAMU, you continuously said FAMU was the better team. The better team lost. But now it seems when the so-called better team lose their starting quarterback, they don't have a team. It's just
that doesn't make them better. Like, Daniel is what makes them the better team, and he makes everything else go. And in that game, FAMU came to play, and they were the better team. But in the sense of the PV game, listen, okay, this is my issue. You can take games, you can isolate games for what they were at that moment, right? Like, if you like the Alabama and LSU game, okay, Alabama played horrible against Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt was the better team, right? Alabama got the better athletes, but Vanderbilt was the better team. And then you move them over and they play LSU, and they mollywop LSU. What you saw against Vanderbilt was not the same team that you saw against LSU. And the same thing is this. The team you saw against JSU was not the same team you saw against Prairie View. It just wasn't. And you have to isolate them in their own right. For that game, in that moment, FAMU was the better team, and there's no changing my mind in that situation. But when the circumstances are different and their best player goes down, that game is now different, and the team looked different, and everything else fell off of that. Now, this is where, to me, where the next game, I don't care who I know it's Valley, but it could have been Southern, it could have been A&M. The next game, you can't have the same drop. You get what? Because now you know, okay, Daniel might not go next game. My backup needs to be prepared to go into. Now there's no excuse. To me, there's no excuse, right? You got a week to prepare. I don't give a damn if it was A&M. I don't give a damn if it's the Florida Classic. You have a week to prepare. You need to get him ready. And now that you know Daniel is a game time decision, or he might not be in or out, you need to make sure that you got to make sure that you have the plays and the situations that make Junior comfortable in your playbook, in your install for the week. And if Daniel can go, Daniel can go. If Daniel can't go, you got to make sure that Junior is good. He understands what we're trying to do. And now you got to ask other people on this team to now step up. The running backs, the wide receivers, everybody's got to step up now, because now we got to fill the gap that Daniel Richardson is, because he's not there. So now, to me, this is where there is no excuses going forward, because of the simple fact is now you know what it is, and now you got to prepare for it. That's just me.
Jesus Christ, fam. Do y'all see what y'all got this dude doing? Man, y'all lose games, and he got to give us a whole goddamn thesis tonight.
I got you. All right,
hey, shout out to the Southern University women's soccer team. My man, Coach Jeremy Funno. Southern women's soccer winning the SWAC championship for the first time ever in women's soccer. Man, that's huge. My man, Coach Jeremy Funno, the coach of the year in the conference, man. Last year, they lost in the semifinals to Jackson State. This year, they win the SWAC championship, man. He's been building that program up. So I got to give a shout out. You know, that SWAC stands for Southern Wins Another Championship. So we just added another one right there, baby. First time ever is women's soccer. Southern won that. So I just have to shout out my man, Coach Jeremy Funno, co-coach of the year in the conference, and him getting it done. Number 3 seed beating the number 1 seed, Texas Southern.
5936 coming to you. Last caller.
Hey, Scotty.
What's up, Coach Pep? What's going on?
Nothing is going on. But I remember 4 years ago when you first came on the air, I gave you that name, Voice of the SWAC. And you still the voice of the SWAC, because you know your football IQ is better than the rest. And I want to know from you, which program has regressed and which program has progressed since you've been on the air? Regress, I mean, from you've been on the air, and progress from which you've been on the air. And Perry, I want to ask you a question. What coach do you figure can deliver the Celebration Bowl? And what coaches do you think get the pig slip this year? Because you the CEO, and I'm buying stock in the SWAC, and I'm losing my money. And you give me the coaches that you feel that can deliver the Celebration Bowl.
Hey, Coach Pep, do you want to stay on while we answer? You want to hear it on the you want me to let you go?
I'm going to stay on.
Okay, go ahead. All right, Perry, go ahead. You give him the pig slip, but I'll do the progress and regress after you.
So he want to know what coach do I believe can deliver a SWAC from out of the SWAC to the Celebration Bowl, or just a coach period?
Coach Pep, did you hear him?
I want to know which coaches you feel that can deliver the Celebration Bowl, and which coaches you think I'm losing my men on. I'm buying stock in the SWAC.
So it's the SWAC.
Okay, in the SWAC, then I guess right now, I would have to go with TC Taylor. I mean, if FAMU was that standard and we saw FAMU beat South Carolina State and we saw South Carolina State beat North Carolina Central, and that seems to be the jumble up of what the Celebration Bowl was going to be between possibly those three teams and maybe add in FAMU as that fourth team up until they lost this past weekend. I think right now you have to put the front runner as TC Taylor. They're undefeated in conference play. They're on a winning streak, and you just see by the method that they are winning games. And that's who I believe as a coach within the conference that could possibly deliver a Celebration Bowl. On the other side, a coach with the pink slip, I think is clear as day. Connell Maynard. Here's the coach over and over and over and over. Each year finds himself in that same situation. And what's that situation? Not in the hunt in the East. He's allowed Alabama State. He's allowed FAMU and Jackson State all to surpass him and become contenders each and every year in the SWAC East, while his team continues to just get by with a victory here and plenty of losses to add up. Now, how Alabama A&M fans feel about it, how administration feel about it, of course, it can be different from how I see it because I'm on the outside looking in, but I know it would be tough for me to continuously say I want to support that program and you watch FAMU, Jackson, and Alabama State surpass you, and you have yet to beat any of them. You have yet to still beat Southern, and you continuously fall to the wayside of being near the bottom of the barrel of the conference with those teams in which you said you get paid to win SWAC games, which I got to hold your words against you, Connell, and you're not winning the SWAC games that put you in the upper echelon. You're at the middle of the pack or at the bottom each and every year. So I think you got to take a hard look at Connell because the rest of the coaches in this conference are in 1 year or 2 year within their programs. He, along with Eddie Robinson Jr. and Bubba McDowell right now are the longer 10-year coaches right now. Bubba, you look at him, he could be on the chopping block possibly, but for me, I got to go all the way with Connell because consistently they have underachieved, and to me, I cannot continuously support it if I'm a Bulldog administrator or fan.
All right, Coach Pepper, let me give you your regress in progress. Now, I want to be very clear about this. Coach Pep said, for my time covering the SWAC, who has progressed and who has regressed. What I took out Jackson because they're in the middle for me. They're just like, they were really great, and then they had that off year, and then they're trying to get back to being, great. So they're just in that middle piece for me. FAMU is still in that middle piece for me because they came off those 2 great years. They won a Celebration Ball, all that type of stuff. So Prairie View regress from where they started from to where they at now, regressed. Grambling absolutely regressed. Alabama A&M, from when I came into the space from the spring to where they are now, absolutely regressed. Alcorn is on a very slow decline, and they're not in a full regress, but they're just trending in the wrong direction for me. The only team that I can say to me that has progressed from my time being here is Alabama State. From where I saw them when I first came in, where Ely, to where they're at now, it's a trend upwards. It's not a steep trend upwards, but they have gone in an upward direction. And that, for me, is the team that I said will have the most progress. Bethune-Cookman, the reason people are like regressed is Bethune-Cookman, they just been bad since they got in the SWAC. So they've been ass since they've been here. So it's not a regress or progress. It's just, and I have to say this, and this might be like a little mundane or stupid, but I think Valley, from where I saw Coach Dancy have this team and how competitive they were and how much fight they would show to where they are now, is a regress. Now, they haven't been all world and they haven't been amazing, but just what you've seen on the field and what the product they put out, yeah. I mean, like let's be real. Valley was putting people on the all SWAC first team. Like, Gardner, the running back, Caleb John, like they had first team all SWAC players, DBs, wide receivers, like they had talent. I don't think I don't even think you might get one player off of Valley to be on an all SWAC team at this point, right? So, yeah, those are my my looks at Coach Pep.
Yeah. You answered my question, and Perry, you did too. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach Pep. Appreciate you. That was a great question, by the way. I think that was absolutely a great question.
I didn't hear you mention Southern at no point. Is that a tough one? Because it's kind of, I mean, two possible SWAC championship appearances since you've been in the space.
It's not that's why I didn't give you. That's why I didn't say a progress or a regress.
Okay, you
just
even
because even think about it, Dooley wasn't bad. It just wasn't for the fans. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he went to a SWAC championship. Next year, you still had a winning record. So it wasn't like, I mean, it wasn't bad. I mean, it wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. You know what I'm saying? And now you're probably going to go back to a SWAC championship. So it's not, you get what I'm saying? It's not a progress or regress. It's just you're in the middle, you know, just doing what you think. I think the regress would have been if Terrence Graves just tanked the whole thing and you would be in a Grambling or a Prairie View situation where you're like, yeah, this ain't going too well. You know what I'm saying? So that's my thing for that. That's why I didn't put them in that category. But that's a damn good question. And I think for Alabama A&M, you really have to study that drop. Like that could be a thesis for somebody for real. Just from where you were at the spring, in spring championship to all the accolades coming into that season. And where they were at from that point to where they're at now?
It's simple, Scotty. A quill glass. That's it. Because even before that, I mean, I think it was that one year where they battled with Alcorn at Alcorn, and Alcorn snuck them and beat them and ended up getting the East. But Alcorn won the East like 6 consecutive years. You know, so it was all Alcorn in the SWAC championship representing the East. And that spring season, because remember, A&M even got in that championship game because games were being canceled along the way. Everybody didn't play everybody. I think A&M made it to the SWAC championship with 4 wins, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 5 against a Pine Bluff team who I think had played 3 or 4 games themselves. So Aquill Glass was the deciding factor in that. Aquill couldn't get it done before COVID, and it just worked out because of the few games that Aquill was getting in there. A&M still was not this team that I think that people want to get in for that spring. It just so happened to work out for them that spring because of the lack of games being played. And Aquill Glass was just that guy that was ready at the time. I mean, it was Pine Bluff and Alabama A&M in the championship game. And look at those 2 programs.
Hey, listen, that Pine Bluff team was tough though. I ain't gonna lie, with Skylar Perry and Day it was Day as a DB, and they had some talent. They had some talent. I ain't gonna fake on them like that. But
you put those teams in a regular 8 game schedule, 10 games conference. Yeah. You don't get that because Aquill Glass still has to go against the teams that he had trouble with. He never beat Southern, right? He had issues going against Jackson State, and then I think it was just not Jackson State, but Alcorn. So I just think those issues. That was the whole thing for A&M. It was Aquill Glass, and he just so happened to catch it right then. But what did Aquill do when it came into the fall?
Got whooped.
He got all his accolades.
Yeah.
But what did Alabama A&M do as a team?
They lost.
Right. So I don't even think it's regress. I think they are who they've been the entire time aside from the spring. That's just who they've been under Connell Maynard. That's a smoke screen, whatever that was in the spring for 3-4 games, because you go before COVID, where was they at? It was still Alcorn's world, not Alabama A&M's world. So I think A&M has always been what they are.
But I think from what I was told, Alcorn wasn't all world in the sense of their record. Like I heard it was getting to the SWAC championship with 6-5, 7-4 records and stuff
That's
like
my
that.
point. A&M
Yeah.
couldn't even get past them, and Alcorn was sneaking into the championship barely 500. That's exactly what I'm saying. Alcorn literally up until they moved to the West won the last 6 games, 6 East Division titles over there in the SWAC East.
Yeah.
So from 2014 to 2020, it was all Alcorn. Then COVID happened. So even with Alcorn struggling, Alcorn was playing Southern and Grambling every year. It was Southern and Grambling going back and forth from 2014 all the way up until COVID happened.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's my thing. What was A&M before that? The same A&M that we see right now. Nothing changed. That COVID year was just an anomaly. That was different, but that did not put them like leveled up. They have never leveled up as a program. They've always been a middle of the pack, bottom of the barrel football team in this conference.
I mean, I think for me, in my view, because you got that view, that pre-COVID view, I just have that COVID going forward view, and them coming off a championship and them having at the time one of the best quarterbacks in the SWAC, and you have these high hopes, and you don't beat the teams that you're supposed to beat, right? Like we didn't think you were gonna beat Jackson. Okay, whatever. Well, I did pick them to beat Jackson the first year, but you couldn't beat Grambling when they were on a down year. You couldn't beat. I don't think they ever beat Alcorn. Who else didn't you beat? Oh, they won the Magic City Classic.
Never beaten Southern. They haven't beat Southern since the mid 2000s.
You know what I'm saying? You didn't beat Southern. It just goes back to, it's just like, dang, like you didn't win the games you were supposed to win with all the talent that, listen, they had some talent. They had some talent, but as always, A&M don't have no defense, and they can't stop anybody. They can score with the best of them, but they couldn't stop anybody, and that's been Maynard's downfall for the last 4 years that I've watched them play.
Ask an A&M fan that's in the chat, aside from that spring season, what was the last season that you said, man, this is a hell of a squad we got?
I think they said A&M was back like 2010, 2009 when they were going to the.
I get that. That's a long time ago. I'm talking about at least from 2014, 15, 16, 17. We're in 2024.
Yeah.
I saw A&M in the early 2000s. I went to the SWAC championship game in Birmingham when they beat UAPB in 2006. I know about A&M used to be built off of defense. That was Alabama A&M. They were a defensive team. They came to play. They came to play on defense. But I'm just saying, like, as of recently, let's just say the past 10, let's knock on the past 15 years, Alabama A&M fans, can you look back and say, what was that one season in the past 10, 15 years that you said, man, damn, that was our one that we let get away from us? And can you, outside of one, can you name me 2? And I'm pushing it if you can name me 3. For sure.
To A&M used to be good in the 2000s. Then them and Alabama State used to fight for the East in the 2000s decade. JSU had the early 3 seasons, and A&M was good from 03 to 2010 straight.
Because the transition of power went from Jackson State when Rick Comegee got there, and then the transition went from in the East. It went from Jackson State, then Alcorn dominated. Because Jackson State and Comegee was in the championship damn near every year.
Mm-hmm.
And it seemed like they was playing Grambling damn near every year. Then UAPB got in 2012, and UAPB beat Jackson in 2012. Jackson went back again in 2013 and lost to Southern. They had lost back-to-back years under Comegee. That was when the Jackson fans was like feeling like the Southern fans with Odoms. We going, but we losing. Then you realize it felt good just to go because you went into no man's land after that. And then that's when Hopkins had Jackson State, because Hopkins and Alcorn damn near went to the championship in 13.
Yeah.
And then Alcorn took on the reins, but A&M throughout that reign, well, that's what I'm saying. What was A&M?
Yeah.
It was Jackson and Alcorn, and it was really Alcorn for those 6 years until they came into the West. So that's my whole thing. A&M has not been nowhere. It's talking about knocking on the door of being a championship contender. 5-2, but you didn't make it nowhere. And you lost to Southern that year in Mobile, Alabama.
I mean, you making some solid points.
I just want to know, after that's a 5-2 2018, and you still don't win a division. Outside of that, where else have you been for A&M to be up here? A&M has always been like right there to me. And yes, the early 2000s, I know everybody. I was there. I saw the games. But 15 years, y'all been right here. It ain't up here. It's down here. Yep. So they are not in the upper echelon of SWAC football programs, and they have not been in the past. I can say the past 15 years. Yeah, 2009, but you lost. And the teams you lost to are the two teams who played in the championship in 2019. Once again, you're not in the upper echelon. It was Alcorn, it was Grambling, it was Southern, it was Jackson State. Alabama A&M wasn't there. And aside from the spring season, where the hell has Alabama A&M been? Losing the Valley on Thursday nights.
Hey, back-to-back years. Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, that's tough.
I give them that one. They did stop Texas Southern from going to a SWAC championship. I give them that one. That might be the biggest win Connell Maynard has had in a while. If I think back on it, name me one.
Wow, yeah.
That might be his one.
That's funny. Boy, you stupid.
That's exactly. And then they beat Grambling in the hole like 2 years ago, didn't they?
Yeah.
Didn't your boy Langford get in that game and do something? Was that last year?
No. Quincy beat Grambling. Quincy was the first. Quincy was the first person in the Maynard era to beat Grambling. Yeah,
but you looking at A&M has not been in the conversation of titles. Nobody has put them amongst the Grambling, the Jacksons, the Southerns, the Alcorns in 15 years.
Hey, I'm gonna listen. I'll say this: Dr. Brian better get this coaching. He better get it right, because listen, that bounce back needs to be real. You say Perry put that gesture on the shit.
That's A&M, man, for real. Like, when last time has anybody been hyped about A&M talking about a division title or a championship contention? Even mention them amongst SWAC champion. That spring, I mean, come on, congratulations. I was at that game. I came to watch y'all play Pine Bluff and Jackson, Mississippi in the COVID game. But I mean, the immediate season come, y'all brought everything back.
Yeah.
And then who did they let pass them? Everybody kept saying, Dion said, wait till the fall. That was the craziest shit I ever heard in my life, because I thought that was just some straight bull. They said, wait till the fall. And when the fall came, Jackson State ran straight through. Then left the man the scooter. And then was so cocky, they scheduled them for homecoming. That's how cocky they were.
I was at that game. Yeah, I was at that game.
And it silenced them instantly. It was back to the ghetto you go. It was, and they ain't been hitting on nothing.
Back down memory lane.
He said back to the ghetto you go. Oh, man.
You at the bottom. You ain't saw a championship. I mean, you can say it's sorry. You can say Southern sorry. I've been into plenty of championships. Let's see. Hold on. 13, 14, 18, 19, 21, and possibly this year. 6 SWAC championship appearances in my time if we get there this year. A&M, and that's from 2010. A&M, name you a SWAC championship appearance since 2010. And I'm giving you 6. Give me 2.
They got the COVID.
Give me 2.
You sound like one of them coaches. They be like, give me 2. Give me 2.
Well, if it was spades, they ain't got a hand.
They can't even go board. Hey,
No.
one in a possible. That's all I got for you.
Boy, that hand's so full of reds and low reds at that.
Oh man, boy, something is wrong with you, P.
But for real, A&M fans, that's the type of logic you got to look at. Like, damn, hasn't it? I want to remind you, it's been that long. Wake up, smell the coffee, get loud, say something. I promise you that would not fly at Southern going that damn. No. It wouldn't fly. It flew a little bit at Jackson. They kept trying, coach after coach after coach. But I'm just telling you, if you were a program that cared, you would not allow that to fly that long. And now scratch your head and be like, damn, he right. I mean, the spring 21, that was, hey, we about to be in 2025. So,
whole pandemic later.
Hey, y'all put some thought into that, A&M. Get you a coach, man. Move on. If this is what you cool with, then don't listen to me. But I come from an area where we care about our football and we care about winning. We don't care if it's ugly or if it's pretty. Just long as I can check. Look, I can brag on say every time I see A&M, I can put a W on the schedule. It's been that long since y'all beat us, so you should be pissed at that. That the fact that I even got bragging rights. It's been since what, 2012? Congratulations, 2011.
You said give him two. They gave you
he
two.
Got they two then. There you go. That's all you want? That make you proud? That in 15 years too, and I'm telling you 6. Grambling, I mean, Alcorn went 6 straight years themselves. So Jackson State then outdid y'all.
Oh, dang. That's tough.
Jackson State went in 12. They went in 13. They went in 21. They went in 22.
They said they had back-to-back with UAPB and so 13 and 14. Because Southern.
No, 14 was Alcorn and Southern. UAPB in Jackson was in 12.
And then Southern and Jackson was when?
Was in 13.
Okay.
And then Southern went back against Alcorn in 14. And then from 15 to 17, it was Alcorn and Grambling. And then 18, 19, it was Alcorn and Southern.
Gotcha.
It wasn't Alabama A&M. So A&M, make some noise, get loud. UAPB is about where they range at. UAPB Valley.
Wow.
Yeah, that's their range. UAPB Valley, Texas Southern is their range.
Fight back, A&M. Fight back. Wow, that's tough.
What I'm saying is because don't they want to fight and get a new coach? Then I can shut up.
That's fair.
But you ain't beat us since 2012, and we going on 2025. And Terrence Graves, the new coach, can still beat you. You ain't mad that you keep losing to the
the first years. He keep losing the first year guys.
You ain't mad about losing the Magic City Classic? I would be upset.
3 years running. Okay, yeah, it's getting bad out here. It's getting bad out here. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like you making it worse the way you just keep piling up. I'm like, damn, that is.
I just want to open their eyes and realize, like, hey, that spring game meant nothing. You won it. Excuse me, you won it. But what was you before that, and what was you after that, and where are you now? And if all you can do is remind me about the early 2000s, that's a bad shape to be in. Because half these kids on these teams weren't even born when Alabama A&M was good in the early 2000s. They don't have a clue.
They said by default, get it how you fit in. Get it how you fit in. All right, man, we gonna get up out of here. Perry, where can they catch you at?
Oh, man, y'all can catch me at on Saturday mornings, the Jaguar Journal on 107.3 FM in Baton Rouge. If you're in the local area, the capital city area, you can hear my voice on the radios, 107.3 FM. And if not, you can tune in on the Jaguar Journal YouTube channel as well as Facebook. You can go hit the subscribe button. That way, if you're not able to get up that early with me on a Saturday morning game day, you can be able to listen to it after the fact, traveling at your tailgate, whatever. Blue and myself, along with Jim Kleinpeter, on Sundays, we do a recap show on my On the Yard Network Facebook page. So you guys can go follow On the Yard Network. It's on X, Instagram, as well as Facebook, and subscribe to the On the Yard Network YouTube channel. And then on Tuesdays, I do a show with Coach Roger Kadar, College Baseball Hall of Fame, SWAC Hall of Fame, Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame, all the Hall of Fames you can think of. He and I do a show on Tuesdays where I just kind of get the wisdom from the old guy, man. I mean, he coached basketball collegiately. He coached baseball and won many championships. He played Major League Baseball. So he's just a guy, if you want wisdom and to hear stories, I do that with him, called Chopping It Up with Coach Roger Kadar on Tuesdays. You can watch that as well as on YouTube, and go follow and subscribe and Chop It Up with Coach Roger Kadar. And then, of course, on Monday nights, we back rolling, huh? We gonna anything else before I put all the hype into this? Any more hiatus? Any more timeout setbacks?
Oh no. We're gonna finish out the season nice and strong. You know what I'm saying? And then it's PWI season. It's PWI season.
Well, you can catch me on Mondays right here at 6:30 or whenever we try to get in on it.
He's on Central. So when he says 6:30, he means Central. I'm on Eastern, okay? 7:30 for me, or 7:45. You know how I be.
Y'all, wherever you may be at in the world, this is where I'm at on Mondays with my man Scotty. So hey, that's where you can find me at, man. I'm all over the place. So, or you can catch me at a Friday night. You just catch me on social media, whatever, man. Just catch me at your local football game. Catch me at your stadium. I'll be all around. So, man, I appreciate you guys, and always the love and the support that you guys show. I always say I don't be thinking nobody watching or listening to me or paying attention to me. So whether you love me or hate me, or you just, like how I do things, man, I appreciate you guys for all the love that anytime you stop and say, hey, man, I watch you guys. I love what you guys do. Man, that really do mean a lot to me, because at the end of the day, this is where I grew up, in the barbershop, having these talks. Hayes Barbershop, I never forget. I get the paper, I get the SWAC section, and while everybody in there talking about the upcoming game, they talking about, Southern cheated us down there this weekend. We was at Grambling, hey, them boys, you just hearing that conversation, that's where the essence of all of this started for me. That's what my love for this is, through and through to who I am today, to even be on here talking to you, and the history. I've been around. My mom started taking me to these games in the 90s. So just the history, but it started in the barbershop for me, man, as I got older and got dropped off. So to be able to have that love and compassion, to still have it today for the sport and for Black college football, you got to really have a true love for Black college football. It ain't for the faint of the heart. But so I got that love, and I appreciate you guys for the love and the support that you guys have for your programs and that you have for Black college football, because that's what makes this special. That's what gives us the atmosphere, man. Appreciate you, Scotty, for letting me be on with you too.
Always, man, always. And I appreciate you for doing this with me day in and day out. You know what? I had this epiphany. I'll say this. If the people from Jackson raise the money to get me down to the SWAC championship, I'll go. I'm not paying for nothing. I mean, hotel, I'll pay for my food, and I'll pay for my gas. I'll pay for my gas, and I'll pay for my, because I'm gonna drive down. But if the people from Jackson raise the money to get me to Jackson, I'll come. If not, I'm gonna keep my ass right up here in Ohio. I am not tripping. Okay, so
after all that you just said about them cheating and potholes and all that, now you talking about them bringing you to Jackson.
Well,
I wouldn't even want them to bring me. I feel like it's a setup. If it was up to them,
well, set me up then. Set me up then. It's the perfect opportunity. It's the perfect opportunity for the setup. You know what I'm saying? So I'll give you that. Y'all can get a little group together. Say, hey, Scotty, we raised a little money. What's probably gonna cost me? It's probably gonna cost about a hotel stay. I'm probably gonna have to drive down Thursday night, get there probably Thursday midday, because to Jackson it was, how many hours was it to New Orleans? It was 15 hours, 16 hours to Baton Rouge. So it'd probably be what, 13, 11 hours to Jackson. So yeah, so I probably have to leave early Thursday morning, get there Thursday night. So I need a Thursday hotel, a Friday hotel, a Saturday hotel, and I would leave Sunday. So I would need Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 4-day hotel. That's probably gonna cost you about $400, $500 right there.
Well, they can find a dorm room for you, one of them apartments in the Palisades.
Oh, no, we're not doing that.
You ain't trying to get in where you fit in?
Oh, I thought she was asleep. She said, add security to that bill. Deputy Mario, all day. Need him right there.
Man, you don't need no security, man. You can walk through that. Look, I'm telling you, man, just walk through there. It's going to be all right. Them folks, now you leave off the premises, I don't know what to tell you. But you on the campus, I mean, the stadium parking lot, you'll be A-okay, man. Just stay off the sideline.
Yeah.
Get your ass in them stands.
Where you staying at, D? Like, and listen, I'm cool with, we can, I do double bed, you know what I'm saying? We can split the price. I ain't tripping off that. I am not tripping off that. So it is what it is. Just let me know. You got my number, D, so hit me up later. All right, listen, I'm gonna get up out of here. Listen, until next time, you know what I'm gonna do. I'ma holler. God bless.